Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's happening? What's happening, guys? We are back. We are back in full effect, guys, for another one. Yes, another one. I really appreciate you guys for coming in. We ain't got too many folks up in here, but as time progresses, I'm sure you all will join. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for coming. This is the real unwoke, not the fake unwoke, but the real unwoke. Y'all know how we get down. Hold up, there we go. So look, we got the panelists in the house. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourself. Jane, you can start. JP, and then Des, and I'll go last.
So y'all might have thought I left and while I was never come back, I never came back, or never was gonna come back, but I'm back. My name is Jane McMillan. I am the founder of. Yes, I said that. You want to rewind? So Y'all may think I was not gonna come back, but I'm back. My name is Jane McMillan. I'm the founder of Men Are Not the Enemy. I'm just glad to be back. We got a lot to learn from each other, so of course I had to come back. I had to stay in the game. So, hello to everybody, and let's get it.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hold on, let me give her a proper. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dez. Thank you, Dez. Dez is
Oh,
always
here
on
we
point.
go. Here we go with that. Go, go ahead, JP.
Welcome back, Jay. Welcome back. JP from the FWM Podcast. Follow with me. FWM underscore podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Follow with me.
Hey, JP, you already know. Go ahead, Miss Des. What's
Hi,
on your
everybody.
mind?
It's Des here, and I'm back too. Miss Jane, I'm so happy you back.
Man, get back.
Shout outs to her for coming back because some people probably wouldn't, but she did because she's strong like that. Neil, stop hating.
Look,
Haterade.
listen, I don't hate, I congratulate. Anyway, let me give you a little something, something. Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, let me take a little moment to do some house cleaning, some house maintenance. Excuse me. Everybody in the chat. Who we got in the chat? We got Miss Marlene in the building. How you doing, Miss Marlene? Good evening. Not sure how long I'll be in this live this evening. I have Christian friends that are going through difficult times at the moment, and I'm joining them in prayer. Amen. You know what? We will send prayers their way as well, Miss Marlene. Hope everything works out. Joseph Curry, I'm here in the building. What's up, Joe? Appreciate you, brother. Andre Rose, appreciate you. Hey, Andre, I don't know who you are, but you are very, very engaging. I really appreciate you. You already know who we got in the building. Your boy Lee. What's up, Lee? Lee keeps it real all day long. All right, guys. Okay, Joe, I got you. Joe Curry, got you. Anyway, so tonight's discussion, guys, I want to take a little break away from we got somebody else. This isn't somebody new. This might be one of yours, Miss Jane. Is it Elmina?
Yes, that's my bestie. Yes.
What's happening, Bossy? Anyway, so yeah, guys, I want to take a little put the whole gender war discussion kind of on the back burner, which I kind of think is, I don't know, it may trickle into this conversation. We don't know. We don't know how the night go. This thing can, you just never know. You don't know what you might get out of these spirited debates. But nonetheless, I think I wanted to talk about this particular topic tonight because I think there's going to be more in common than there are going to be disagreements. So I do have a video I do want to play to kind of kick it off. So you guys, I'm gonna test the audio per usual. Let me know if y'all can hear it first, and if y'all can hear it, I will proceed. All right, hold up. Can y'all hear that? Oh no, I don't even have it up. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. My B. All right, here we go. Oh, excuse me.
I heard that.
Hey, watch your mouth.
So disgusting.
All right. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. And y'all can see it, right? All right, here we go.
if you care to think at all, it's very clear that something is going on here. There's something to this, man. Have we been lied to this whole time?
I'm here at Fort Monroe in Hampton, once known as Point Comfort, the very spot where the first enslaved Africans arrived in America 401 years ago in 1619. The atrocities my ancestors endured, packed and stacked on slave ships like pieces of property, brought to this country to build it with their blood, sweat, and tears. Psychiatrists say trauma like that can affect a people for generations.
No justice, no peace.
7-year-old Wenta Amore Rogers' passion during a recent protest in New York struck a chord across the country.
Peace, no justice.
The amount of passion in her voice, in her eyes for a child that young made me not just see her, it made me see our ancestors before her.
So that little girl learned that from history. She learned that from her parents. And that's even like why it's so important for us to continue to tell the stories.
Nationally renowned psychiatrist Dr. Dion Metzger says the unrest we see today is 401 years in the making.
And in the point of slavery, to the point of, whippings and killing and lynchings.
The whole idea of using slavery today as an excuse for the crime and dysfunction in the Black community doesn't make a lot of sense. If you look at the Blacks that came out of slavery, they were relatively prosperous, and you did not have the dysfunction and crime that you see taking place today. Black people are constantly being told that because of slavery, because of systemic racism, that their anger and their bitterness and their rage is justified.
Is it possible that as Black people, we are experiencing a PTSD from what they went through 401 years ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just because we didn't experience it, us learning about the history or even from family stories, it's the same thing.
That does not make a lot of sense, given that Blacks coming out of slavery had lives that were more functional. The functionality of Black lives at the turn of the century was because Blacks were deeply religious people. They adhered to strong Judeo-Christian values and principles.
Oh, hell no.
And to the extent that they get further and further away from those principles, I think that you see more dysfunction in Black communities because they've lost the anchor.
Church was the central point. It was the center point of social gathering, culture, religious activity, everything. Every Sunday, you woke up, you had breakfast with your mom and dad, and then all of us came out of the house at the same time, and we start walking toward Sunday school. Even if you couldn't sing, you're going to be in the youth choir. And then Wednesday, you would go to youth Bible study. And then the summer, you go to church retreat camp. Those were just expected things. And that formed the fundamental basis of the Black community. It was that sense of right and wrong, it was that sense of morality. It was that sense of discipline that we had.
Okay. I didn't know how long that that clip was gonna be, but let me go ahead and stop sharing that real quick. Okay, Miss Jane, I'm gonna let you kick it off. So before you do, I just want to kind of give a little synopsis of what we saw there, guys. So as you just saw there in that video, Black people at one point in time, prior to 1960s, were at an economic peak, where the were economically prosperous, essentially. They built businesses, they had churches, community, and there was a sense of morality in the community once upon a time. Families were intact. Actually, the marriage rates were at upwards of 85%. Virtually no single mother homes, nothing like that. Abortion was virtually not even heard of. So the question is, what happened? What happened today to where under more stricter law enforcement in regards to segregation and racism and things like that, we tended to do better. There was still a sense of character and moral fiber in the community, whereas today we have been liberated and we're more free and have more access than ever before, but yet things have declined precipitously. So that is the question. That's the overall theme for tonight. Miss Jane, I'll let you kick it off. JP and then Des, and as always, I will go last.
I was actually hoping that I was not going to be first, but that's okay.
Oh, my bad.
No, because you know why, and yes, I'll well, you know what, it's fine. I'll go first, but I want to say this. You're right. This is definitely an energy shift from the last live. I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for this. My heart is heavy. But I'm gonna say what I took from the video. I saw, first and foremost, I saw the dignity and respect that the men had in the video of them wearing the suits. Now, granted, men wear suits today, but it's just a different. They have something to prove back then, right? And can you stop, son? I'm sorry, y'all. Stop. I'm not doing it again. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. So yeah, so what I want to say is you asked what happened. I'm interested to see what Des and JP and yourself has to say of what y'all think happened. But from my perspective, in a nutshell, just touching the surface, not so much getting at the root of what happened, but the surface of, but the top of what happened, like the surface of what happened. I feel like the number one thing, or one of the number one things, is the music. The music changed. Like, Black people started having a voice. Black people started putting their voice into music. And then if you look at hip hop, which I'm not blaming slavery, I'm not like directly connecting the two, but I mean, when you look at the music from back then versus now, it's just different, you know? And so how do you program people? You program them by what you're allowing them to see, what you're exposing them to hear, what you're teaching them through word of mouth. Everything that we are is because of something that we've seen, we've heard, we've tasted, we've, walked through it, we've touched it. So I feel like I'm not going to say it's the blame, but I feel like one thing that happened is Black people got a voice and they started putting their voice in the music. And then once the music made a mainstream, the devil took control of the mindsets through the intake of words through music. And I feel like Black people today suffer because they're trying to mimic the rapper, the female rapper, the male rapper. And I want to hear what y'all got to say. So I'm gonna be quiet on that.
All right. Okay. That was a good summation of your perspective. Go ahead, Mr. JP. What's up with you, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, we shouldn't have been damn integrated. We should have stayed the same. Because when we were separated, dog, we had to come together because we in our minds, we were at war to prove something, to get something, to have something. Once they gave us something, and you can see now in today's world, every time some black people get something, they get complacent. Every time they get a lump sum of money, they want to go and spend it. They want to ball. They want to just, you know what I'm saying? They want to do whatever. They want to show it off. They feel like we made it. And they don't put it no effort into building more and more and more. Even you can use the excuse of when you ask people why we can't come together and have our own, then they go back to talking about how they messed up in Oklahoma, how they tore it down. And I always ask people, so you're going to use that one time. How many times have they tried to rebuild and they tore it down again? You use that one time to say, I'm not never trying again. I just don't understand that. I feel like when you don't have anything to prove, when you don't have anything to grind for, we get complacent. And even with that, you can say about the music, yes, but we were far gone way before then. We're too far gone way before then, because we could talk about the Christian religion, but let's talk about God itself. God was gone way before that in our lives, out of the household. Once drugs and the crack came in, I mean that tore apart everything. Then you started having the single fathers. I mean the single mothers. The fathers was out the home. The Christian religion started empowering the women to, you say that a woman's supposed to, in the Bible, it said a woman's supposed to be submissive, but you go to a Christian church, you see all the first ladies and the deaconess always talking about every woman that's in the church house. They gossip, they chatter. Christian religion is probably the only religion that you see a woman that they proud that aside from the Muslim religion, that they say the woman that adores the man. That's not true. Because the Christian woman is the one that's always the loudest and the most unruly. You got every other religion, every other culture, the woman, she submits to her man. The woman trusts her man. Christian women don't trust it. The Western culture woman, the culture that was given to us, we the only ones that really don't have a culture. We were giving a culture. Every other culture, Asians, whites, they have a culture that they stick by. Nobody can come in between it and make a divide. We are the only ones that we were given something, and this trash culture that we was given, we was like, yeah, this us. There's no way in the world, dog. There's no way in the world that we can say what we seeing right now, that we say for the culture, that is what we came from. If we were shipped out here from Africa, you can't tell me that's what we were supporting. You can't tell me that. That's bullshit.
All right. What you think, Daz? What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to everybody in the chat.
Hey.
Andre Rose said something about Black Wall Street, which I think is a really good it's a really good example. I think what happened was fear. Fear crept in. And as we know, when something as small as fear creeps into the mind, it has the ability to do things. And I think that we started all of what we have right now. Everything under the sun started with, I believe, melanated individual people. We had the smarts, we had the gene, we had all of that. And I think aside from fear, I don't necessarily want to say intimidation, but you know how they say Black people are the most forgiving? I think we were a little bit too much of that. I think that, again, it's a little bit of fear. It's a little bit of trying to be too nice. It's a little bit of intimidation. Instead of us just standing firm and standing our ground and using our mental capabilities to rebuild, using our physical abilities to rebuild, we somehow did get mentally lazy first. And instead of us trying to rebuild our communities or rebuild a culture, we just kind of stuck our tails between our legs. I don't know if you all know, but from history that I've studied, even with the Republican and Democratic Party, and I think Andre Rose said that as one of the comments, the Republican Party started out Black. It was an all black panel until the European culture came in and they started to try to bribe us to, come to their side or incorporate them into our party. And when we were like, no, they started killing and doing what they do best. That aggressive nature started coming out. And instead of us, I feel like, fighting back to be able to regain our resources, our supplies, our mental stability, we just kind of gave up. So it has a trickling effect. And if you see now, you don't really see as many Black people, starting businesses. I think we have developed a way now where our younger generation, they are in this mode of starting their own businesses and starting their own trends and things like that, which is fine. But I feel like instead of all of us trying to spend all of this money to go to college to get a job, we should have been trying to utilize that money to initiate and create resources so that we can hand the jobs out. We should be the ones sitting in the CEOs of banks. We should be the ones that are creating and building hospitals, constructing architectural buildings, but we're not necessarily doing that. And if we are, it's only a few of us. So I guess just to answer your question, I think it was fear-based. We got intimidated by, what we were up against, and we didn't take what was ours.
Oops. All right.
Shouts
All
out
right.
to
All right.
Dez. Shouts out to Dez.
Shouts out. The girl, y'all gonna kill me with that. Anyway, so
You hating.
yeah, I'm kind. Yeah, okay. I see a lot going on in the chat. See a few things in the chat that I agree with. A lot of stuff I disagree with. But let me just kind of respond to the video. That I'm gonna kind of give my response to kind of what everybody said on the panel. So what I think that happened in the Black community, as I said before, once upon a time we had moral character. There was a sense of duty. There was a sense of community. There was a sense of God in a community once upon a time. And we prided ourselves from that. And I think that what undergirded that was our ability and our willingness to assimilate to American culture. I think today what we see right now happening is that Black people want to disassociate from American culture. I think we want to segregate ourselves. We want to segregate ourselves off of society because we feel like we have been wronged. We have been brought here against our will, and that we're going to fight tooth and nail to not assimilate into that culture. And I think what we saw happening in the early 50s was Black people essentially assimilating into American culture. I agree with you, JP, as far as the legislation and the laws at the time. I don't think that forced integration was the answer. I think that we didn't need government intervention to propel that forward. I think that would have naturally occurred over time. But I think that Blacks have completely relinquished their agency. They have given up their ability to think for themselves. We didn't have to appoint leaders. We didn't have to appoint these activists, these angry, oppressive figures that to speak for on our behalf. We had fathers in the home who spoke for his family. We didn't have to have someone speak on our behalf. And I think a lot of these political figures, goes without saying, Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton, a few other ones, agitators, they kind of stirred up the pot. They stirred up the pot and they injected this resentment ideology into the Black community, into the Black mindset. And it shifted our culture to where we were out there diligently doing things for ourselves to now we should depend upon the government to right our wrongs because we were once enslaved. And I think that we lost our moral agency because we have become so heavily reliant upon somebody else to come and fix the problem. When internally, that's the root of the problem. internally we have lost the moral character ourselves. And I think the breakdown of the family is another one of these that's paramount to this problem. People don't. I just think people underestimate how valuable the family is in the community. That is the building block of any community. And if you don't have families, all you have is just a bunch of atomized, segregated people with no common belief, no common shared belief. We just all kind of have our own philosophy, and just kind of because we look like we share each other's reflection, we're supposed to think as a monolith. Why do you think today, if you don't act black, you're castigated as an Uncle Tom, you're castigated as a bootlegger, or whatever the case, whatever they call you, all these stupid little ad hominem attacks that they call you, if you don't think like the ghetto bullshit ass black, the degenerate, if you don't think that way. So ultimately what I'm saying in a nutshell is I think that black people have given up moral agency. We have absolutely abandoned the notion of personal responsibility. Even when it came to the crack era, all that. Just because crack was dropped on your front porch don't mean you need to sell it. Just because crack was dropped on your front porch don't mean you need to take it, sniff it, snort it. You have the ability to refuse that stuff, repudiate it, and even in regards to the music, you can turn that off. We can boycott the music altogether if we stood for something. But I don't think black people stand for anything, because the only shared common thing we have in common is that we black. Our skin colors align, but we all think differently, but we want to act the same in society, because if you act differently, like I said, you castigated as the other. You're not authentically black. So that's my point. Jane, you can follow up, JP, and then we just circle it around.
I want to give you your flowers because I'm new here. I haven't seen you in this light. This is a beautiful thing. I told you I know that. I mean this for real, y'all. I mean this for real. That was genuine. You said a lot, but let's focus on. Oh my gosh. So I'm an empath. So I'm actually an extreme empath. So if I look in the room.
Oh, my bad.
Don't do that.
My bad.
It's fine. I'm gonna call you my brother tonight. You my brother tonight. That's fine. So
you my sister.
That's what's up. So I'm an extreme empath. So if I look kind of weird, just excuse me. I just like this conversation is heartfelt. And actually that video, I never really felt it like I felt it right now. Like it's kind of, I'm going through some weird, this is interesting what I'm feeling. Because but anyway, great choice of the video, by the way. That was great because it did something to me. But I'm gonna say this. When you mentioned the whole Christianity thing, right? So like I wonder why, okay, so I'm not like, I don't study racism. I'm not racism, but I'm not one of those people that know everything about slavery. I don't know what happened in 1964, right? I just live my life for right now. But what I will say is that it's interesting because when you look at that, when I look at that video, the joy that was on their faces, the women that were in the kitchen and they were cooking, and right. So it's like they had joy, which it looked to me like they had God. And then even furthermore, it looks like they knew that God was actually in them. Whereas today, the white man has made black folk believe that God is outward, that God is outward, and we have to reach it from the outside. But it started actually in us, right? How we move, when we choose to move. See, if you are a believer, and I'm not going to turn this into church, but I just got to say, if you are a believer, right? A true believer in God, aside from Christianity, just a spiritual being that believes in God, you should know, much like Buddhism, Buddhists, they know, they're aware that the God is in them. They believe, they're very strategic the way they release. the way they intake, the way they move, the way they forgive, the way they transform, the way they adapt, the way they adjust. Everything is about inward. Whereas, I mean, Christianity, the white folks got us thinking that everything is outward. And maybe that may play a part in specifically the Black community. Because when you go to Africa, I've never been physically to Africa, but I've seen Africa. You know, a lot of guys that follow me are from Africa. I've seen in person people that come from Africa. They bleed God. And it's crazy because I can't really thumb point what God, like I know who God is for me, but it's crazy how you can see God in other people without even really knowing what really, like you ain't never really, I mean, you've seen God, but you can actually see God in other people. And Africans, you can't tell an African that God is outward. Africans believe God is inward. So what I'm getting at is maybe, possibly, we started to rely on faith too much without relying on self. Not self as just yourself alone, but the God in you. Because when you move, instead of sitting around waiting for things to happen, the God in you should move with you. He's helping you do. And I don't know. For some reason, that's where my mind went after you spoke. But I'm gonna land my plane there.
All right. JP, what's up? What's on your mind, brother?
I mean, you're right though. The concept of Christianity is the outward. It was taught to. We are now seeing the consequence of worshiping idols, people, the outward form of seeing things. God, even in the Bible, you know, we in our minds, we were taught to comprehend the Bible. And when Jesus talked to God, now as a human form, we're looking and hearing some voice or a physical. We think about angels. We think we're going to see what we see on TV. Some little thing floating. You know what I'm saying? Something with wings. God's supposed to come down and we're supposed to see a physical form of him. But in the Bible, every time that God talked to Jesus, we don't realize that was the voice. That was something within him. And we're waiting for a physical form. And that's the issue. But even going back to the time before, back in the time with back to Dez though, man, even back then, the crazy thing is we had no room for error back then. When they forced the laws to integrate us, that gave us room for error to be complacent. Because back then when we had nothing, there was no when we had to stand as men. We had to lock arms together. We had to stand. We had to stand firm. We don't have that anymore. I was talking to my partner earlier today, and I was telling him the girl on the video said something about PTSD, and I say that all the time. That the generation before us, everybody goes through trauma. Every generation had their own traumas, but the problem is the trauma gets passed down through the next generation afterwards. The things that I've never been through oppression. I've never been through slavery. I've never witnessed none of that. But to hear my great grandparents, or anybody that's been back in the day tell me everything they went through, I can still see the anger and the hurt and how mad they are still. And they don't realize. I told my dad the other day, I was like, man, you don't even realize the footprints you put in the sand that got us to where we are now, and you're still mad. Look at everything that y'all went through. Look at everything that y'all did. Look at where we are now, and y'all still feeling like there's still some of that stuff happening. That my generation, man, the millennium generation, we're not going through none of that shit. But we still hearing y'all talk about it, so we falsely waiting for that to happen. We're anticipating that to happen. So that's why we living like that. But if you really just sit back and stop being angry, bro, you'll realize, man, white people scared of us now. Like they have to tiptoe and walk on eggshells. They can't say much to us no more because now we like, oh, you racist. Oh, that's offensive. They can't really say nothing.
None of the ethnicities can say anything to black people. That's why they can't correct us.
Be as racist as we want. We get to make all type of jokes about any other ethnic group, and we don't get talked about. We can say our comedians can say the most racist jokes, and we just laugh about it. But as soon as a white person said a racist joke, you know what I'm saying? It's like whoa. That
Yep.
cancel,
Yep.
but it was created though, man. It was always created to turn back to get us turning on each other. It was always supposed to be a full circle. It was always supposed to be a full circle, and we played right into it. We played right into it. Anything that we forcibly have to go and get, when we have to make them make a law for certain things, with the time that we're sitting here fighting to get it, they are now discussing what's a loophole in it to where we still can circle it around. Before we give them this, we still got to be 2-3 steps ahead of them, because everything, we just want to make them feel like they got something. They cool with titles and they cool with feeling like they got, that's all they want. They just want to feel like they got something. So every time they give us something, a law, the law don't even really mean what we think it means because of the name. We like, oh, a George Floyd law. We think, oh shit, he getting justice. Shit ain't got nothing to do with him. Ain't got nothing to do with him. But yeah, man.
You yield the floor. I got you. Go ahead, Des.
Yeah, me personally, I think we shouldn't really focus too much on religion. I think religion is a problem. And that's not to be offensive or disrespectful to anybody. But what I take from religion is following. You're not leading, you're following. Now I think there's beauty in all religions. Me personally, I might research, I might study, but I don't actually practice any type of religion. That way it gives you the ability to understand. However, you don't actually have to take on the practices of, but you can have an understanding. I think that, and somebody has said something about, slavery or whatever starting in Africa or whatever it was started in Africa, but I don't think it wasn't us that started that. That was the European culture that came in and they integrated that with our way of living, with our way of thinking, when it came to our food, when it came to how we were with families. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the Black religion at one point, we were growing our crops. We weren't even eating meat. We were vegans. We were healthy. And when that European culture came in and that fear crept in us, we sat and we allowed things to happen that should not have happened. So even like now, I think we're fighting back a lot more now than we have, but I think there's still a level of fear in the air that doesn't allow us to come together as a community. Like, we seen what had happened in, what was it, Alabama, where the guy hit the girl with the chair and dude threw the hat up and all of that stuff. If we fought back more, if we were less fearful of what could or may not happen, I think we would be further as a people. There are a lot of variables too, and even with like them, like you said, Neil, dropping the drugs off at our front door, I think in that way we try to what do you call it? We try to it's a word that I'm looking for, where we just try to we use what we could as a means of living, kind of like what we're doing now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condoning food stamps or government assistance because I think it hinders us. You know what I'm saying? But I think we try to utilize at one point what we had, doing the right thing for the wrong reason, or doing the wrong thing for the right reason. But if we had a little bit more, if we had less fear, I think we would be better. I think that's the answer to a lot of this. Religion, you don't have to believe or not believe in religion, but life still goes forward. But when you have fear, you are hindered more than you would if you didn't have fear. So I think if we just had less fear, then a lot of this would be nipped in the bud. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think it is that we're fearful of?
Fear of loss.
Yeah, fear of lack, fear of loss, fear of, defeat.
What else do we have? What else do we have to
Fear
lose?
of death, People are afraid to die. Like back in the day, I don't think they were afraid to die.
People that fear getting older. Like if you
That too.
fear getting older, you're not susceptible to living your life the best way you can. You shouldn't be. I don't feel like you should be 60, 70 feeling like, well, I don't want to go anywhere. You need to be traveling still. You need to be moving around. I mean, life don't stop because this happened or we might have took an L over here. We might have took a major L over there, but so what? So what? We take losses every day. But again, we have so much fear. Oh, well, fear the white man is going to do this. Fear. But we've seen when that fight back occurs, laws get changed. They might be small in small increments, but the more we do it, the more we can adjust to doing what we're doing other than what we're doing, then we'll be in a better position. If more people were not afraid of, well, I don't like math, so I'm just not going to go to school. Well, you never know. You go to school, you might not pass with an A, but shit, you might pass enough to, you know what I'm saying, get to where you need to be. Or I'm afraid to get married because I don't want them to take all of my stuff. Well, we have all of these excuses, all of these fears, all of these, well, what if? But if we set a lot of that to the side and stop trying to follow all of these religions and all of this stuff, like following religion is like listening to music and doing exactly what the music say. That's why I say people got to stop allowing religion and other outside sources to think for them, because at that point that's what's happening. We have more people thinking for us instead of us doing our own thinking. Erykah Badu said, she had put it on one of her posts, use your head before it becomes illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I think that oftentimes it starts in the mind, it starts in the mental first. It started before religion. It started before this. It started before that. So just take fear out of the equation, and I think that we would be in a much better place.
Okay. Well, let's just say, okay, so
improvise. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, did you want to expound upon that a little bit more before I jump in?
With the drugs, dropping the drugs off at your front door. I think we tried to improvise by indirectly creating jobs. They done terrorized us and took our shit. So we got to use what we have as a means of survival. It's not the right thing to do, but shit, that's what we had, and it worked for us for a little bit.
That's so selfish, though. It became so selfish that you will poison your own to get to the top, just to be able to survive. It's crazy because a fear of not having that, you would sacrifice your own by giving them poison just so you can survive. Like that had to have been the worst fear that you can ever have, that they dropped that on your front door. And you would sell. I know folks, man. I done seen folks sell dope to their mamas, their aunties, their cousins. Like that. I mean, it used to always be a rule. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sell to your folks or to your homeboy folks. You're not gonna do that. But even with that rule, it all was bad. But if you selling dope to your mama, like that got to be rough. You feeding some real poison to your own people. That I look at how it was before, and it's sad. And even when you say about religion, like I just think faith period of a creator. I mean, I've went across, we all grew up with something. We always started off with something. As kids, it's a small few that you didn't grow up with something. You had a religion growing up. As you got older, now you just I went away from telling people, oh, I'm a Christian or I'm this, I'm that. I believe in God, because it's somehow, some way, all of this began. So, but just the religion period was to put everybody in a box. It's everything, every club, every social club, every organization, every religion, it was created so people can know how to slot you accordingly. So now, knowing you're a Christian, knowing that you Buddhist, knowing that you Muslim, you can be slotted accordingly of first judgment, or how you approach somebody, how you think about something, how you treat somebody. You know what I'm saying? Every group, every organization is slotted for a reason. It's there for a reason. And I've went away from that. It's a lot of groups, a lot of organizations, a lot of religions that I've went through, you know, well, not religions, but even putting myself in a box of Christianity, I look back on it and say, damn, man, if I just would have just said I'm just human, I probably would have been a lot further in life, where you just asked me that question. I said, I'm human, and you leave me alone. But once I got to explain why I'm this and why I'm that, it gives you more and more time to start, your mind start computing to judge me. It gives you time to start to look at me a certain way. For what reason?
So I'm listening to everybody, and quite frankly, I'm disappointed. I'm just disappointed in all y'all. I don't think it's fair at all.
You fucking happy. Nothing makes you happy, Neil.
I'm disappointed.
Why you mad, Neil? Why?
Because y'all just coming up with all this. Y'all just coming up with every excuse under the sun. It ain't fear. It's not religion. It's none of that. Look, controversial take. Black people as a whole, a lot of them are just mentally retarded. Controversial take. Look,
but
controversial take. Controversial take. A lot of them are just mentally retarded. Okay, and just look before you get all offended by the word. Look up what retardation even mean. Okay, it just means you're less advanced and you develop slower than others. Okay,
look it up, dude. Look it up, dude.
And that can be mentally, that can be socially, and I think in a lot of instances, Black people are just developmentally slow. They suffer from arrested development. Okay, arrested development. They refuse to take on any personal responsibility. That's what it comes back to. And let me just chime on a few things. Okay, first and foremost, America ended slavery. America was the first country to buck at a age-old, ancient, freaking what do you call it? Institution that happened all over the world. America was the only country to stand up in the face and fight against this freaking atrocity that occurred all over the world, and it ended it. And then the other nations would then follow after America's example. America stopped putting into it. You want to know why? Because they had the church, they had God, and they could not go on to oppress another man, right? And still say they believe in a God. That's cognitive dissonance. You cannot. It was the church. It was the Quakers, right? Thomas Jefferson put forward legislation to stop the importation of slaves. This is not lies. Y'all can look this up. America did everything to end this freaking age-long institution, enterprise. And you know what? They got a lot of resistance, because a lot of these nations, slavery was just a part of life. That was just a way to go. And you know what? The blacks sold the other blacks to the Arabs, and the Arabs distributed the blacks all over the world. It wasn't until later on when the Americans could actually develop the technology to even travel across the seas and the oceans to go into the terrain, because they didn't even have biological resistance to some of the diseases in Africa until they developed quinine. Like, y'all got to understand. Look, I'm not expecting everybody to know all this, but my thing is, everything's a lot more nuanced than what we think it is. And back to my point of personal responsibility. Black people just want an excuse for we just want an excuse for everything as to why we can't get right. We can't get right. Why do I think religion? Why do I think Christianity was the way forward? It's because Christianity is a religion that's about discipline. It's about suppressing your fleshly desires in pursuit of a higher spiritual goal. It's about ascension spiritually while suppressing your hedonistic pursuits. That's what Christianity is about. And what's so special about Christianity, it is the only religion that preaches forgiveness. No other religion talks about forgiveness. Nothing. So we can talk all this stuff about Christians, but we don't realize how much sweat and blood that Christians have endured to go against these archaic, barbaric, I'm stuttering all over my words because I'm so flustered. But Christians have endured so much to put an end to this evil. And we just so quick to throw them under the rug because some pseudo would-be Christians took the name of Christianity and abused it. So now the whole religion is just what? Defunct. It's meaningless. No, just because somebody gets up there and calls themselves a Christian, if they're not practicing life as a Christian, if they're not a practicing Christian and they're not following the tenets of what is in that Bible, then you're not a Christian.
So Neil,
Christians wouldn't have kicked his daughter out the house though. Go ahead, Des.
Okay, listen, Christ wasn't no hippie. I'll just say that.
So
Christ was not a hippie.
So what you're saying is the reason for our current events is because people aren't Christian?
That's not what I said. No.
I'm asking, is it along the lines of, are you getting at
I think that's a contributing factor, is because we have ultimately what I've been saying is that we have abandoned this notion to assimilate into American culture, which American culture, the Constitution is rooted and predicated on the Judeo-Christian principles. We have completely abandoned now. Black people, now that we become more educated, become more advanced, more research, more learned, now that we know ourselves, and now we've completely just developed this notion that, you know what? I don't belong here. So I'm not going to subscribe to this Christian philosophy. I'm just going to be the God that I am.
You do know if you ask me with Black people, right?
Excuse me?
Black people didn't start Christianity.
You damn right. And I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad. I am absolutely glad the white man brought us over here. Absolutely. Because if he didn't, we'd be worshiping sticks right now.
As melanated people, we were everywhere. We were all over the place. We weren't.
Listen. Yes, there are more melanated people all over the world.
That's not correct.
There are more people of color all over the world. There are more people of color across the world than there are white Europeans. We know that.
And exactly, and that's my point. So
what's your point? A lot of these other countries you're referring to are ethnically homogenous. They all typically believe in the same customs and beliefs and religions, and a lot of that stuff is paganistic. So what are we talking about here? All I'm saying is the very rights and privileges that y'all enjoy today is because of Christianity. No. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. Yes, it is. No. Yes, it is.
I disagree.
Name one constitutional right that you have right now that was not predicated upon the Bible. Christians. Name it.
What was one what?
I said, name me one right and privilege that you have right now in this country that was not predicated upon the Judeo-Christian principles. Let me know.
You gonna have to give me time to read.
I know. Hold on. Let me find my Jeopardy. Hold on. So, where's my thing?
Because one, what I'm not gonna do, if I'm not too knowledgeable about I'm not gonna speak on it because I'm not really too sure of.
You know what? If I don't know something, I'm gonna shut my mouth. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So again, and that's why I'm shutting my mouth on that. But what I do know is Christianity was not started by Black people. First of all, we were all over the place.
We were worshiping sticks and stones and voodoo.
The Bible is based off of ideas of multiple people.
Not true. Again, it's incorrect.
No, it is. The Bible was based. Neil,
I'm sorry. I mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Neil, so who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Bible?
Who wrote the Bible? Man.
Oh, but isn't that what I just said?
You said it was inspired by ideas. No.
So I said
Ideas,
the
those
Bible
ideas
was
are not
written-
those ideas are not
the
derived
Bible
from
was
men.
written by multiple people's ideas.
No, these ideas were not derived from men. Are you kidding me? The law of God was written in the hearts of man way before the Bible was written.
Who wrote the Bible? Neil?
Okay, you asking two different questions. You're conflating two different things here.
Neil,
You're saying,
who wrote the Bible?
and I said man. I said man.
And
But
is
not-
man singular or plural?
Man is plural. I mean,
Okay,
men.
so if I say the Bible was written by multiple people's ideas,
It's not. That's where we disagree. Right there. That point of contention that I have with you. No, it's not multiple people's ideas. These ideas. This idea is a derivative from God, not man. That's what we disagree at. That part. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just stepping in because Neil, if I never stood for you before, I stand for you now. No, Des, so I'm gonna say this. Des, I respect that you're not in this space yet because I've come to know you without physically know you. I've come to know you in spirit. If you get that at any, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you're my homie. But I do understand. I gotta agree with Neil only because, but aside from that, let's not make this about like a Bible thing. Because I mean, if y'all really want to go there, we could. But
I said personal responsibility. That's really what it comes down to.
So okay, yeah, thank you. So when you said about the laws being Bible based, and if it wasn't, what would be the outcome of today? Like, will we even have laws, or if we had laws, would people be held accountable? Now,
third world country, like we see today.
But okay, however, from Des's perspective, and I understand, I already understand without even having to understand. From Des's perspective, and many people in her tribe, right? They may feel like, okay, but the justice system never worked. The justice system never worked for. Okay, we're saying that this justice system is based on biblical facts. However, has the justice system always worked? So certain tribes of people may believe that the justice system never worked. It's actually a failure, which I agree with that. However, I agree with what you're saying because you're speaking on forgiveness. A lot of people don't even believe in forgiveness. And the reason why I know that, this is just getting a little bit off subject, but not really. So when we talk about marriages, specifically Black marriages, right? And when we talk about like, when we address like cheating, when we address a woman using the credit card without the husband's permission, when we address the woman taking child support and using it for her hair and nails, when we address men taking the money and gambling at the strip club, etc. When we address our own culture, or our own skin, our own brown people, and what we do, not saying that other races don't do that, but I'm talking about brown people. When we address it, a lot of people feel like they are obligated to do these things. Whereas if you see, okay, let me finish my sentence. Whereas if you were a quote unquote Christian, you would believe in forgiveness, which would have you, okay, not only forgiveness, but turning the other cheek, right? So that would mean that instead of you walking away from your family, you would actually have to turn around and go back to the person that actually harmed you, or spiritually harmed you, or maybe emotionally harmed you. You're going to have to go back and address what you did. You're going to have to go back and apologize. What I noticed, I'm not going to blame it on Christianity, but what I do know, you do have a point. A lot of people fail accountability. They don't want to forgive. They don't want to heal. They don't want to address, why? Because if they heal, which is what God commands, right? I believe God lives in me. Christianity, I believe that I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Christian as in the white God. Jesus, sorry, I'm not in the tribe of the white Jesus, and I don't believe that just because I have tattoos that I'm going to hell. I believe that God is in me, and I'm a spirit operating a human body in this physical experience that deprives from God because I believe in God. But I'm just going to say, Neil, you actually do got a point, because like you just said, I'm not going to say no other religion, because I don't know all the religions, but Christianity will make you go back and correct your wrong. With a lot of black people, a lot of black marriages failing today because nobody wants to go back and forgive, but yet you claim you believe in God. And that
the institution of marriage, and the institution of marriage is a religious institution. People conveniently forget that.
Right. I believe that is hypocritical. You cannot believe in God, the God in you, which is love. Love. God. You express God through love. You express love through God, right? So I'm just saying, from that perspective, you're 100% right, and I don't disagree with Des, but I highly understand your perspective, Neil. And I am a proud mom. If you was my son, I would be a very proud mom. I'm going on mute.
I don't disagree with Des. You better disagree with her, because she's talking crazy.
I'm not going to disagree with Des, because she's coming from a spiritual form in which I identify with. But we're speaking on spiritual versus religion, which I'm not religious, but some people identify Christian with religion, but the word tells us not to be religious either. So you're technically not supposed to use Christianity as a religion, but I don't really know if y'all really want to go there.
It's not a religion, it's a reality.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
It's a reality. It's an absolute reality.
And that's what people don't. That's what they're running away from, is the reality. We'll put so much energy.
No, religion makes it judgmental, in which Christians or everybody is doing. But go ahead.
See, I think that's the problem. That's the problem. Y'all be too forgiving. The Bible don't say.
Oh, you got your mind. Did you hear me last podcast? Did I sound forgiving?
Let me tell you something. God didn't tell me to be stupid. I'm going to just say that. God didn't tell me to be stupid. He didn't tell my ancestors to be stupid. And my ancestors wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Prior to the Bible even being written, we were geniuses already.
Right.
Already. What are you
That's
talking
a lie.
about?
That's a lie. If that's okay, well, then what happened today? What happened today?
What do you mean what happened today? We're not talking
Explain it today.
We're talking about
what do you mean? So what happened to this?
Bible, black people, melanated people. We were already geniuses before the Bible. We were smart, intellectual before the Bible even came into existence. What are you talking about?
Well, you know what? That's
talking about.
That's That's all. Because I don't believe it. I just hear too many black people run this.
We were intellectually smart. But the problem is they needed some form to control us for us to not use our heads, though. That's first of all. But second of all, going back to the accountability thing, you're right on that part. Like when it comes to people not wanting to really about being Christian, they were going away from Christianity. It's because they don't want to hold themselves accountable. You was talking about the justice system earlier in your earlier statement. Like even with the justice system, I was talking earlier, and I was just like, when it comes to the justice system, we only complain about the justice system is because we want to talk about what white folks get away with and we don't get away with. But all actuality, why are we worried about what they get away with if we just do the right thing, what we supposed to do? Who cares what they get away with? Who cares? I hear people all the time when we see on social media, a mass shooting, a serial killer. If he was a white guy, they wouldn't have shot him. But I'm thinking, like, why would we think about that being a black man and hoping he get away? Why would we want our people to be doing something like that? Why? Why are we worried about if we wouldn't get away with it rather than not doing that shit at all? Accountability is insane when it comes to our people. We don't want to be accountable with a lot of things. When we were little, our parents used to say, if your friends jump off a bridge, would you jump off? We say no. But then now you look at what our parents now, we be talking about some shit, and they'll say,
JP, look, this is why a lot of black people are just mentally retarded. We vote. Listen to what we do today. We literally vote against our own self-interest. We vote for our own demise today. Every single policy that we vote for is to our detriment. To our detriment. We vote for abortion. We vote to expand LGBT, all that. I don't even know how the LGBT movement glommed onto black issues, but that's what it is. We vote for more government dependency. Where are they at? We need the white man to help us. We need he put us in this problem. He got to get us out. That's how retarded a lot of black people are. There's no excuse for it. You're just plain old stupid. And I think we need to get back to the days, despite the fact we're in this soft soy boy generation where we can't be offensive and judgmental. We need to get back to the days where people just need to be straight up told, you stupid. You just absolutely dumb.
I agree. Well, first of all, the comment that was just there. Can you go to the previous comment that was just there?
Which one? This one right here?
Yes. You see what Ms. Mills said, and I want to shout out to her because it says African people had knowledge of good and evil prior to written record of God because we were the first humans. So again, the Bible, if we want to be, if the Bible literally just kind of got here, if we want to look at it like that,
the
Bible has just kind of got here. And again, like I said, and I don't mean like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but what I'm saying is based off of the time span that we've been here on earth, in order to write the Bible, we had to get the intellect from somewhere. But like I said, you had two types of people utilizing the Bible for two totally different reasons. You had people using that same Bible for good, and you had the same people using that Bible for evil. I'm not saying that the Bible don't have it don't have its positive.
I think you might. What about the Ottoman Empire? What about them? Do you know? Okay, well let's go back to the slave times when the Arabs captured slaves. Do you understand what they would do to male Africans? Do you understand what they would do and how they would castrate these? And the practice of castration in the Ottoman Empire was so brutal that they had to take these men out into the hinterlands because it was so grotesque the way they went about that process. So, like I said, America brought an end to an age-old evil, an archaic enterprise that engulfed our entire world. And we don't give enough credit to these brave men and women who put their lives forward, which happen to be Christians. And again, I'm not making this no Bible thumper thing, but we have to understand the entire Constitution. Listen to me. The rights and privileges that you all enjoy today is because of these Christian sacrifice. It wasn't a Muslim. It wasn't some, I don't know, whatever religion. It was Christians that brought about this nation, the most freest, prosperous nation, despite whatever your conspiratorial belief is. You have more rights and privileges than anyone else.
It's not.
Yeah, you do.
Did you hear about the Gullah War? Did you hear about the Gullah War when
all
of the black people?
It's always been conquer and conquest all across the world, Des. Conquer and conquest has always been a part of the human condition.
Okay, but again, in that period of time, we had more black people get out of a state of fear and go against their oppressors. And what happened?
A lot of their oppressors were their own chieftains and their kings. Their own people.
That might be the case, but you don't think they got slayed too? You don't think they got slayed too? And that's my thing.
Got paid. They got paid. They didn't get slayed. They got paid.
The people that were involved in the Gullah War, Neil, they stood up against anybody who tried to oppress them. And what happened after that? Slavery wasn't fully abolished, but you best believe more slave owners were deleted. more people had more freedom.
How about we talk about the black slave owners here in America? How about we talk about the blacks that own slaves here in America? Do you know 1/3 of Louisiana's population once upon a time was all black?
You know why? It wasn't because of Christianity. It was because of fear.
No, it was because those were the customs of the day. It was because those were the customs.
Of taking my family.
That ain't that.
Away.
No.
All of the resources that we had. Yes, it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. Do you think if those particular people were bribed, you think that they would have been on the side of their oppressors? They were on the side of their oppressors because they were in a state of fear of what would happen to them. And it's no different. History that's why they say history repeats itself. That's why they say that.
Des, I don't know where you got that from.
What do you mean?
I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, so the comments are saying that Des doesn't know. So the comment, somebody said that Des doesn't know what she's talking about.
They don't know their history.
Right. But no, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Well, I mean, you have the right to laugh, Neil, but I don't think you should laugh because let me bring some clarity here. See, okay, and somebody said, "Oh, I don't want to call Des out because I'm trying to be on her side." No, let me explain what's happening here. This is how I see it. But if you don't have the ability to see it this way, then you don't. I think Neil is coming from a spiritual standpoint, and Des is coming from a physical standpoint.
No, I'm coming from a practical standpoint. Practical.
No.
In reality, today.
Call it what you want. But from the outside looking in, I see you standing from a spiritual standpoint, and Des is coming from a spirit. Okay, basically, let me put it in better terms. Neil is Martin Luther King. And Des is Malcolm X.
Hell no, I wasn't that atheist.
And Des is Malcolm X. I'm just calling it what it is. Des is Malcolm X. You're Martin Luther King. So I'm just
Martin
saying
Luther King
that
was a sellout. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Well, if we listen to what's being said, it seems that way to me. I'm not saying that you're a sellout. See, so that's how you're taking it. I'm not saying you're a sellout.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead. I won't interrupt you. Go ahead.
I'm not saying you're a sellout. I agree with what you actually make sense tonight. And I'm proud to be on this platform tonight. But I'm just saying, so for the people saying that I'm just agreeing with Des just to say she's a woman and I agree with Des.
Nothing to do with this. So Andre Rose, sit over there and calm down, because
this is the problem. Go ahead, Des.
No, it's just like I said, a lot. I can guarantee you, half the people in this chat have no sense of history. I'm almost willing to guarantee you that.
They're gonna come at you, Des.
And that's fine. That's fine. And again, like I said before, this is not to disrespect or offend anybody. But again, like I said, if you go back and you look at history, Black people did not create Christianity. Now, I'm not saying that you can't utilize the Bible in preparation of doing the right thing. I'm not saying that. But again, when you have two types of people that are utilizing something, utilizing the same book for two different types of ways of lifestyle, who do you sit and believe? Because the white man,
the one that's most prosperous, and
that's not and that's
the one that requires you to look for the one that requires you to look within. That's where you go.
I just said that. I just said Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X. Like y'all have to understand, like what ends you guys are speaking on. Like I clearly put it in English. Like you're like a MLK. Des is like a Malcolm X. Both did good to both contributed good to society. But one believes in forgiveness, the other believes in you gonna catch these motherfucking hands.
Y'all gonna keep believing in forgiveness, and guess what? We gonna go straight down here.
Des is about them hands.
All right. See,
That's the problem. Y'all keep
you
on
are.
forgiving.
Wow.
Maybe if y'all stop forgiving,
No,
stop holding on to this idea.
No,
we gotta forgive. We
you
not.
are bastardizing the whole concept of forgiveness. Like you are totally bastardizing it. But go ahead, JP. I'm gonna let you go, and then Lee, I'm gonna let you go after him. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, JP. Oh, he said you can go ahead, Lee, and then JP, you follow up after him.
All right, man. Sorry, I'm super late. Had to work late today.
Hold on, let me give you a little round of applause. You got my boy Lee in the building, y'all. Y'all know Lee gonna be bringing the heat. Go ahead, brother. It's on you.
Here we go. All right. So, what's the last thing I was talking about? I was doing other stuff real quick. So, where y'all leave off at?
Gosh. Well, the whole theme of the show is essentially what happened from then to now to where why black people today, despite all of the freedoms and luxuries and liberties that we have today, somehow or another we just can't get it right. But once upon a time, under a more brutal and harsher system, we did have it right.
Right.
We were more intact. Families were intact. Abortions was virtually unheard of. We were economically prosperous. So things like that, man. So that you can take it from there.
I mean, I'm pretty well versed on this subject. Actually, you know who the best guy to listen to about the subject is actually Dick Gregory. I don't know if you guys remember Dick Gregory, the great comedian. He passed a few years ago. But he said something along the lines, I'm just paraphrasing. He said once black, and he's talking about the black folks of the 60s, 50s and 60s pretty much said, once we took salvation instead of liberation, the black race was doomed. Now, what he was talking about was salvation, meaning that the white man would come to our rescue and integrate us, versus liberation as far as letting us stand on our own. We chose salvation instead of liberation, and that's what we have now is pretty much the byproduct of the decisions that our grandparents made back in the 50s and 60s. They took the route of an integrated society as opposed to being, staying segregated and doing things by ourselves. If you look at the societies that are prospering now, the Chinese, or the Asians, the Indians, they all have, solidarity amongst themselves. They don't integrate their culture too much and interweave it with American culture. They stay separate. Now they take advantage of all the laws all the laws that's here, but for the most part, you don't when you go to Chinatown, you don't see too many black folks living in Chinatown. You don't even see too many white folks living in Chinatown. It's Chinese. They speak their own language. They got their own stores. They got their own restaurants. They got their own apartment buildings. They got their own franchises, all there. They keep everything in-house and that's what Dick Gregory was talking about, being liberated amongst each other to where we could actually build from a foundation. We're already here. You might as well build from it. But we wanted to take the easy way out. We wanted to we should be treated equal. And without understanding, that's never going to happen. We ain't going to never be treated equal. Ever. Shit, our own race don't treat us equal. So we got to get rid of that mentality of this entitlement to where we can start empowering each other. But if you want to know the real reason, the real reason why we're here is because we don't have distinctive roles in the black race. We got men that want to be women and women that want to be men.
There you go.
And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. We need our roles back. And until our women, mainly our women, decide to become women again,
fall in line.
We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere. We going to stay exactly where we are. It's just going to keep getting worse.
Look at JP. JP, don't even start. JP like, here we go.
Right.
I mean, you just flip that switch. You just flip that switch, Lee. So you about to catch the war of thunder.
All right, hold up, Jane. Hold up, Jane.
What'd it say?
I'm just saying that your comment was, we were doing so good. We were doing really good. We were doing really good because you know what? I'm sorry. Say that again. Say that again. Wait, Neil. Wait, don't laugh so I can hear. What did you say?
Y'all were putting people to sleep.
Damn.
I don't understand. You know what? I've been waiting to see you again. I've been waiting to see you again, Lee. I've been waiting to see you again.
I told you at the end of the last live. I found you.
One second. We're gonna get it popping, y'all. 1 second. I want to get JP up in here. JP, do you want to piggyback off of what Lee was just saying, or you got your own stream of thought?
Nah, go ahead.
Oh, see, there he go. See, JP, I'm a nice.
You was laughing earlier, man. Go ahead, express yourself.
I was just laughing. That bitch turned around. All of that. That switch was gonna get flipped one way. That shit was gonna serve.
Hey, he said, "How we get here?"
Hey, he just offered his his perspective.
First, before anybody have any rebuttal, just tell me where the lie is, and I'll be quiet. Where am I lying?
I mean, you ain't lying.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this. That last comment you made, you said that women basically the role switch kind of that women are trying to take a man's place. Is that what you did? You not say that, or was that
I did. I also said that men are trying to be women. I didn't say one was trying to be one or the other. Both.
Right.
I understand. But you know what? Women wouldn't even, and this is like changing the whole trajectory of the actual topic tonight. But I'm gonna say this: the roles would never shift if a man stood solid in his shoes. You can't have this, baby.
What is that?
If a man, when a man stands solid in his shoes, there would have never been a switch. But I'm gonna still say I'm gonna still say this, and then I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna still say this. I can't help but reflect my last interaction with you, right? And then use what you said before that contradicts what you just said now. So before you were saying, you were all about kicking the little 15-year-old out the house, but now you're saying that the roles are being switched. Well, when the father turns his backs on the daughters, that's what, now you have the introduction to the ghetto. As soon as the man, not just the black man, just any man, as soon as the father turned the back on the little girl, that is why you have such drama today, because God's alignment is all out of order. God called man to be the head. We want to quote this scripture, but we're not quoting the 1 Corinthians 11:3. Basically states that the head of every woman is man. So why is it that your what comes out of your mouth doesn't back up with what you're trying to say now? And that's where I have the conflict. Do you really know what you think you know? Do you really believe what you say you believe? Because it's not adding up.
All right, give him a chance to respond.
I will
Jane, go
destroy
ahead.
your argument, and it's very easy. How did the black woman supersede the black man?
She did when the black man walked away from his responsibility. Unfortunately, she had to step into play.
No, that's not what happened.
Really walk away.
Well, y'all can hear, but that's the truth. It's the money.
Man, that's
it's
not what
the
happened.
truth.
Ma'am, that's not what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Now, I don't know how old you are. I don't need to know your age. I'm 45. I talked to my mother about this. Other people who were around during the 60s and 70s, and this is what no one ever talks about. Black women in general, not all, black women in general, especially up in the North, wanted liberation because they felt as though they were better than black men. Now let me get into it. 1965 was a turning point in black culture, so to speak, because the women's movement was just jumping off. The women's movement was based on white women wanting to supersede their white husbands. But they needed help because not everybody was down with it. So they went to the lowest common denominator of people who would join the movement without any questions asked, which happened to be black women. So they convinced them. So by getting policies passed, and Lyndon B. Johnson, who could be responsible for JFK Kennedy's death, I don't know, I wasn't there, but there's some evidence showing that he was part of that conspiracy. He did everything to go against the black community, and who was in the Democrats spearheaded it.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1965, women's movement got into power. They put people in positions. They went door to door when the black man was working in the steel mills during the day, recruiting black women in black areas and telling them, we're going to give you schooling, we're going to give you housing, we're going to take care of you, we're going to give you benefits, all the stuff that did not give black men. If you recall, black men were barely
like
surviving.
They do today.
No benefits.
Like they do today.
Right. No benefits, no nothing. They made sure they didn't give the black man or the black family benefits as long as the black man was the head. But they offered it to the black woman as long as they joined their cause. Black women didn't hesitate to join that cause. So now, 5 to 10 years later, now it's 1970, let's say 8 years later, what happened in 1973? Roe v. Wade passed in 1973. How that happened? Who was in office? Not office, I'm sorry. Who controlled the courts? Who controlled the Senate as well as the House? The Democrats did. Yep. So they get everybody on board by promising them one thing. Then they pass something else that nobody understands as far as what's good for them, like he said earlier, which was abortion. So let me get this right. If you pass abortion and you want to go towards, I don't know if you guys know where, like, what is that called? Planned Parenthood? Ain't no Planned Parenthoods in the suburbs. They're all in the city. Walking distance from
right next to the liquor store.
Right.
And the church.
Why is that strategically there? Why? No one wants to answer that question. We all know why. All you gotta do is look and observe. They are setting us up for failure, but they needed black women to do it willingly and voluntarily. Because when you force people to do things, that's when you get the civil rights movement. When they were sicking dogs on us.
Sounds like fear to me.
Say what now?
The woman is not giving up the child that she wants. She's giving up the child that she doesn't want, probably because she was raped, probably because the man didn't really love her. Ain't no real woman giving up no daughter. Can y'all be for real?
Man,
wait a second.
How many abortions?
Can y'all be for real?
Man, how many abortions have there been since 1973?
My name is Jane. Just say Jane.
I'm trying to be respectful.
Just say Jane.
All right, Jane. How many approximate abortions have there been since 1973? 1973 was when Roe v. Wade was passed. That's 50 years ago. How many abortions have there been just in the black community? I can tell you. I know the stats.
I don't know. I'm sure you're going to tell us.
22 plus million.
Think about what that could have done to our population.
Black women were raped.
Why, and look, we've been stagnant at 13%.
Why did those women get abortions?
I can tell you why.
Do you know why?
But listen,
because
Jane,
it was a form of birth control.
It's a fail-safe for exactly.
The birth control is you not sticking your penis into a woman that you don't want to have a family with. That's the fucking birth control.
So let me get this right.
The birth control is practicing self-control, which is what the Bible said.
Ma'am, who's the gatekeeper of sex, men or women?
What?
Who is the gatekeeper of sex, men or women?
Right now, are y'all really serious? First of all,
There's never
really
you
been
can't answer the question.
There's never really been a point in history where women, especially black women, ran any part of the judicial system. It was ran.
Judicial system? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about as far as any type of government work.
Man,
so you telling me right now the judicial system doesn't favor
96% of the time.
Exactly. 96% of the time.
Problem. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all allow y'all egos to lead. What I just said was our history has shown us that black women have never
been a majority in the court system. The court system was created more or less by the Europeans. The Democrat-Republican, the Democrat Party was ran by white people. It started with white.
It still is.
The
Liberals,
Republican
white
Party,
liberals that co-opted black women. That co-opted black women.
The Republican Party started out as black men.
All communists.
Black men who had their way, and the Democratic Party was started by white men. When white men saw how black people wanted to treat the system, and they saw that the system was partially good, they tried to then come into the Republican Party by bribing. If you give us seats to your table, we won't kill you. So what did they
wait, what?
Dude, I'm so
go back and read your history on the Democratic and the Republican Party. That's factual.
What does that have to do with the 1960s and the reason why we're here?
I'm kind of going off of the fact that you have this. I have a lot of respect for you, but you have this thing against women.
That's what I'm saying. Why do y'all always default to we hate women?
Because he does, though. It's clear as day. It's clear as day.
You do. And again, you wanna sit here and say, oh, it was women that did this, it was women that did. It was the white man with help of some of the black men that created the system in the first place. What are you talking about?
Your grandmother volunteered
Black women did not sit around and say,
again,
you know what?
lack of personal responsibility right here in the flesh, right now in real time. You are demonstrating that lack of accountability.
In Lee's defense, he is correct with the gearing up on at the 63 going to 64, going into 68 after Martin died. That is when it officially kicked off, when the woman started taking, because during the marches, the women were already in their minds in the background being talked to as the men were out there marching.
Exactly.
At the house by themselves.
They were being swindled. Yep.
Their fearless snake leader died. That's when it kicked off.
Yep.
So going into 73 on further, that's when they started weeding out having trades into schools.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
A choice. Once you give the black community a choice,
thank you.
Single mothers, they opted to just get a regular diploma because it was too much work on them to help these kids study, because they were working by themselves. They were able to get coerced to kick them at to think, if we gonna get
let's not forget the man of the house rule as well.
Got him out of the house, and it was easier once they told them they can get this, and this.
All they needed was government benefits.
All they needed was benefits.
It went to it. Yep. That's all it was.
It's correct. So
government benefits.
Y'all can sit here and again, y'all can sit here and blame the women all day. That's fine. That's fine. But again, if we don't want to turn this into a gender-based
We're stating
issue.
facts.
But again, that's fine. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is, if we want to go based off of gender, that's a man's issue, because it was the man that started it. Women were smart. Women were smarter prior to. But again, the fear of the man not being there, the fear of what could potentially happen to what would be considered the head of the household or the leader, if you take that away, if you have a woman and you have a man and she sees that man can be taken away, it's not going to do anything but instill fear to her. So again, everything starts at a particular point and it moves down further.
Our grandmothers volunteered for this.
When it comes to creating policy, when it comes to creating laws, it was the men of our society that started creating all of these fraudulent laws. It was the men of our society that started all of this crap and instilling fear. It's no different than when slave owners had slaves. You didn't oftentimes see the woman creating the beatings on other women. That's not to say they didn't do it. You usually saw the man in that position. And it instilled a level of fear. No different than there was an article where they said when Black women would get pregnant, the white man would dig a hole enough so that she could lay on her stomach, and the the white man would beat her so bad because he knew that not only beating her would instill fear in the child. So my thing is, again, women have had the intellect, we've had the ability, but the taking away of our men. And also, Lee, to go back to what you said,
that's so incorrect. Have you ever heard of the Moynihan scissors? Like,
they don't know about the Moynihan report.
And also,
don't even...
Lee, like you also made the comment, and you said that it works both ways, but it's more men turning into women than it is women turning into men. So I have to question, because my thing is, well, then why are the men turning into women? Why don't we see the women turning into men? This country is ran by men. Yes, there are women that work behind the scenes.
I can answer that question. It's the easiest. Everything is these are all layups for me. Everything you just said is a layup.
I'm still trying to understand your point, because you done made a layup and it went over the basket.
No, you didn't get it. Everybody else did.
Maybe everybody else. Maybe everybody else.
You should have did that.
Half the people in this chat, I can guarantee you, do not study history.
Whatever.
I'm almost willing to guarantee
the chat. Give me
a lot
one
of information is taken and ran with. You done heard it from somewhere. It sounds nice, so let's run off with it like people normally do.
Everything I'm telling you, I researched myself.
And
I
I'm
read
not
the book.
saying that you didn't. I'm not saying that you didn't. But
I don't come across like an idiot because
I didn't say you did. But
okay,
again,
but my point is,
other people,
you said I heard it from someplace else. I did the research.
Other people in this chat have no idea of history.
Well,
no
then
idea of history.
Well, then let's give them a history lesson.
They're not going to be able to combat what you're saying.
That's okay. Let's give them a history lesson. Let's give them one.
Okay, give us the history lesson, Lee.
Okay, I'm gonna answer your first question. You said
go ahead and answer my first
It
question.
better be a right one too. You better be speaking right.
Everything I'm saying, you can look up, and if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. All you gotta do is combat it. Just look it up.
Verifiable.
Google. It's verifiable.
Okay, so get
simple.
Get to the answer.
Listen, this is third grade for me. You said, first of all, why are men turning into women? You asked that, right? You asked that question.
Yes, I did.
Okay, very, very simple. The human brain is everything's based on influence. If you look at marketing, Neil, now you know this for a fact. Who do they market to in every day on advertisements? What sex do they market to? Men or female?
Come on, we already know the answer to that. Women are Women are 80% of the represent 80% of the consumer buyer decision. Exactly.
So the reality is this: if everything's being tailored and consumed by women, this is the fact. Your influences, you follow your influences. My mother was pretty much a single parent as we growing up. I had uncles. If I didn't have uncles in my life to show me the other things, I'd probably be feminine as hell. I had some roughneck uncles, North Philly uncles. They wasn't tolerating no nonsense. Guess what? I'm a shadow reflection of them. I don't tolerate no nonsense. This new generation is different. It's just different. So the fact of the matter is, we only know what we know. We know what we see. We know what we're being advertised to. That's it. That's all this is.
Exactly.
Where did Dez go? Where did Dez go?
She'll be back. She'll be back.
You were trying to.
I mean, I don't understand. I just don't understand the confusion.
Man, I'm
here.
about to go too. I'm about to go too. I don't want to be up here by myself, y'all. Where
Don't
did she
be.
go?
No, she'll be back. She'll be back. She just dropped off for a second. Hold up. She'll be back. She'll be back. But yeah, I mean, there should not be any disagreement with this. That is the problem here with Black people. We all have. Here she go. We all have this crazy. We all have our own narrative of what happened when there's no such thing as my truth, people. There is one truth, one objective truth. There is one narrative. It may be nuanced, but if you guys understand that all of it, just follow the money, right? Follow the money and follow the decisions and the choices that people made. These are conscious choices that people made. Some of it's fallen upon the men. A lot of it today falls upon the women. A lot of it today. A lot of what we see happening right now today is because our society, which I consider today's society, is a gynocracy. Predominantly, it is a gynocracy. People don't even want to acknowledge that.
Right.
This is a predominantly female-led society. You may say men, but you got to remember that's a hyper substrata of men that you are calling that runs the world, the elite upper echelon of men. The average man is not running shit.
Right.
The average man makes $41,000. The average Black man makes $41,500 a year. Exactly. The average white man makes $50,000. I mean, the average man is not oppressing anything.
Exactly.
Like, what are we talking about here?
But yet they want to generalize it like,
well, that's not an argument, and I'm going to tell you why it's not an argument. You want to know why it's not an argument? Because when it's not an argument, because if we go and we look at slavery,
here we go.
There were more Black people than there were any other race. They took
what?
In. What are you talking about?
Black folks have never been the majority in this country, even during slavery. What are you talking about?
Right.
Bro, you know
dude, you're looking at it. I'm sorry. I think what you're doing is you're looking at it.
I just think we just gonna have to agree to disagree because
no, we don't. We can look it up. We don't gotta agree to disagree.
The thing is, look it up. It's always a issue for me. It's always an issue of convenience. It's always an issue of convenience when it comes to men versus women. And my thing is, this is why I don't like stats. This is why I don't like.
Oh my goodness!
40% of that. Y'all always looking at these stats.
Yeah,
absolutely. You all really don't know who are making these stats. You all really don't know how many of these stats are really that accurate. And at the end of the day, like I said, none of us were really here. We
Facts
can go
don't care about your feelings.
That was distorted.
Okay, but we have to use something.
You
Dez, you're never. First of all, when you're doing research, you're never supposed to look at one source. You're supposed to have a multivariate analysis and look at.
And I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But
a number of sources to ascertain.
You all keep saying that this is a woman-based society. The market is full of women. Well, if that's the case, why is our judicial system primarily ran by men? Why is our country primarily ran by men? Why are
it's 1% men? What are you talking about?
Ran by men. Right. What are you
because
talking
first
about?
of all, let's call it what it is. Men laid down the infrastructure centuries ago. We're still living in that same infrastructure. The problem is the goalpost has been moved. That's the problem.
Whether the goalpost has been moved or not, you can't sit here and say, "Oh well, this is a woman-based world," but it's not even ran by women.
Okay, I think you're not understanding what we're saying.
I just want to know how
is ran by men. Infrastructure. But when it comes to everything else, it's catered towards women.
Yes.
The things that affect our day-to-day life, not the other stuff that you're talking about. Day-to-day life, things that we can touch, feel, smell, is catered towards women. That's the only reason why you guys are winning. And you're not even winning, to be honest.
Right. No, they're not.
But that's the only reason why, because it's marketed to you. Because if you want to know the truth, Black women have made so many people millionaires and billionaires. It's not even funny. You made Oprah a millionaire, and all she did was lie to you for 30 years.
Yep.
Sorry.
Sheer exploitation. Yep. Black women have allowed themselves to be exploited. It's sad.
Exactly.
Absolutely
and
sad.
They did it knowingly.
I'm not disagreeing.
I would argue it was willingly almost at this point.
Disagreeing with that.
Now
but
it's willingly. It wasn't.
Look at Sexy Red. I haven't seen a vast swath of women. Like, you would think black women would come out in droves, right? And just completely protest or do something to get this woman off, because she's damaging the black woman's image. But you don't hear nothing but crickets. Nothing.
You right, though. But you right. But let me say this, because our men are not the enemy. I've been down for y'all before y'all even knew that it was women out here like me. So I'm gonna say this.
My bad.
I'm gonna say this. Fuck you, Lee Williams. Fuck you, Lee Williams. Fuck Lee Williams. It's officially fuck Lee Williams with your face.
What Lee do?
Anyway,
Lee ain't did nothing. You just sitting over there.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck Lee Williams. Fuck Lee Williams. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. You know what?
Lee, I love you too.
I love you, but I called the fucking bluff. I do love. If I didn't love you, I would have said I fucking hate you. I don't hate you, but I'm gonna say this. Let me tell you this. So you said that women make up the majority. You're absolutely right, and Dan, he's absolutely right. Only because I am the prime example. So
that wasn't my dispute. So, but I'm listening.
Okay, that's what's up. So I just want to make this clear that I've seen that from myself, because you know what? Men are not the enemy has made me $0. Well, I'm not going to say absolutely zero. I made probably like $100 since I've been doing this, and I've been doing this since 2007, probably 2007. We're in 2023. That's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that off live. But I'm saying this. I'm trying to make a point. Wait a second. I understand that, but I'm trying to make a point. You are right in the aspect of women are the actual buyers, because I'm gonna tell you this. It would be easy for me to change my name to Men Are the Enemy. I would be an overnight millionaire. But because I'm standing in the
right.
Hold on.
But if you lie, women buy.
Huh?
I said if you lie, women buy.
You're right. But even if I truly believed it, see, if I truly believed it, I can do it better. Yes, that's what I said. So actually, Abe, because I'm really good at holding accountability to what y'all say. Yes, thank you for putting it back up there. Yes, Abe, that's actually a shame. It's a shame that I've only made $100. It's a shame, but I'm not making this about me. But since y'all want to go there, it is a shame. It's a shame that I'm not welcomed on the majority of the male platforms, because y'all are so scared that every woman thinks the same. So when you see Men Are Not the Enemy, you think it's false. You think, okay, this is too good to be true.
Jane, I think I know what it is. Jane, this is what it is. I think, and JP, I'm gonna let you go real quick. I just want to say this. I think what the issue is,
but go ahead. I wasn't finished.
I apologize. Go ahead. Finish, and then I'll interject after you're done.
So my point is you're right. Women do sell the most, and you know how much times I contemplate this platform.
The difference.
What?
Women buy the most, not sell the most.
I'm making my point on that, Lee. I'm not disagreeing with you, sir. Okay, so I'm going to put it in your exact words so that you don't feel offended. Women buy the most. You are absolutely true.
Not offended.
Oh my God. Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, listen. This is
go ahead, Jay.
I'm sorry. Don't kill me for it. This is how
Jane, come on now. You can handle it.
Like that, I gotta correct.
I'm not going to. Okay, you know what, Lee? I'm gonna say this to you, and I mean this. I really do mean this for you. Are you looking at me in my camera? I can't see.
I'm looking straight ahead.
Lee, let me tell you something. Every woman is not your enemy, Neil. Sorry, Lee. No, motherfucker. You said you're gonna look at me in my eye. Stop it.
Snap.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Exactly. Stay just like that. And open up your goddamn ears and hear what the fuck I'm saying. And I'm speaking to you for real. Thank you, Neil. Lee. Every woman is not. Shut up, JP. Every woman is not your enemy. Y'all Play too much. Take me seriously. God damn it. Take me seriously.
Please, just finish. Just
Take me seriously.
I know what you need.
Lee, no, be quiet and listen to me. Lee, every woman is. I can't do this. Oh, fuck y'all. Bye.
What you mean by? JP, go ahead, man.
No, you need 30 minutes to
Putting myself on mute because y'all don't take shit seriously.
All right, listen, Jane, we all about to shut up. I'm about to give you the floor right now. Okay, Lee, we're gonna mute ourselves and I'm gonna give you the floor.
Go ahead.
You got it. I'm muted. It's all on you.
Lee and every other guy that's out there right now, every Black woman, and I'm only saying Black because there's Black people on this platform, but if you are another race, you are also included in this. Every woman is not against you. Every woman is not against you. And I'm sorry. I apologize for every woman that have taken you for granted, that has not acknowledged you as the man you're trying to be. Abe, shut your ass up and listen to what the fuck I'm saying, because I'm talking to you too, Abe. Shut your ass up, okay? Every woman is not your damn enemy. Y'all need to realize there's women out here that forgive you, that look past all of y'all hardships. That yes, y'all mess up. Women recognize they mess up too. Not every woman runs from accountability. There are women out here that take accountability. And unfortunately, you have chose the wrong ones to run with. You have not chosen the ones that are the true helpmates. So you don't know what it looks like for a woman to actually be on your side. I just want y'all to know, specifically Lee and everybody else, all women are not your enemy. Y'all need to stop thinking that every woman is your enemy. Everybody is not Sexy Red. Everybody is not whoever else out there that's making a bad example of a woman. Every Black woman does not think like her. And you asked, somebody said, why aren't we standing in the gap? I'm standing in the gap. What do you mean? I'm standing in the gap. I take just as much heat as y'all do. Women like Sexy Red, when I say men are not the enemy, they don't believe that. But I'm still standing in the gap, and it's not just me. I have built relationships with strangers over the social media that they too, much like Carmel in the comments, much like Elmenia in the comments, stand-up men like James in the comments, that these people get it. Y'all need to realize women are not your enemy. Not every woman is seeking to take from you. Women are out here that want to give. They want to add value. They want to build. They want to contribute. They want to lend a hand. Y'all got to stop acting like we're not out here, because we are. And that's all I want to say. And I know you don't believe me, Lee, and that's okay, but you can't say I never said it.
All right. Okay. I give you a round of applause for that. You get it out now, Miss Jane. We didn't interrupt you.
I appreciate that. We can move on.
All right, guys. We're going to probably try to close it up in a little bit. I want to get y'all kind of our last closing thoughts. JP, I'm going to let you kick it off. And then Lee, Des, and Jane, and I'll go last. I don't know. I thought it would be a little bit more consensus on this particular subject, but apparently, as always, there's a divide. But maybe it's baby steps. Who knows, in the right direction. But go ahead, JP.
I'm gonna close it out like this, man. When you saying about men are not thinking that women hate them and things like that, bro. But when you're saying that you stand in the gap for men, bro, you can't stand with us and with the fight, bro, when we don't bear the lion's share of the buyer's market of which you are trying to sell. You need to be selling
Sorry about that, JP.
You can't think that men are keeping you off of their platform because of what you pushing. You need to be fighting with women on their platform. We don't buy this stuff. When you go through the comments, other than Neil's platform, when you look on any social media platform, Look at how many women are commenting on social media. Look how on when you look at media, look how women empowerment is pushed so much. Women's laws pushed so much. You are on the wrong side of what you're pushing of support. Women, even in the WNBA, women want men to lend all of our resources to push what you want. When your women are the ones, if you get them on board, y'all will flourish so hard because y'all only plan together for purposes and causes that only benefit y'all. That is the problem. It's not that because since 2007, it's because you have to go and blend with your women first. If you get these women, the battling that you are battling with Lee and Neil right now, this is the battle you need to go on the woman side of Fresh and Fits. Those are the platforms you need to be on arguing.
Those women don't welcome me because they don't. Let me tell you something. Those women don't welcome me because I believe in y'all.
Sweet.
I believe in y'all. Those women don't welcome me. Are you fucking serious? If I was men are the enemy, that's how I would be a billionaire by now. What do you mean? This is my testimony. So, but you know what? I appreciate your feedback, JP, because maybe I do need to leave men alone. Maybe I do need to just let y'all burn by yourselves. Maybe I do need to do that. No, maybe I do because you know what? It's not a lot of y'all standing up. It's not a lot of y'all standing up in the gap. It's not a lot of y'all. It's not. And y'all don't support my shit. I am men are not the enemy, and y'all don't support my shit. You would think that a man would support men are not the enemy, a t-shirt to rep men are not the enemy. Yes, I have tried. What do you mean, Andre? I don't read all of y'all. It's y'all. It's y'all. It's not all of y'all. Damn. But the Pookie and the Ray Rays, which y'all are exposing, that's the ones that don't get it. The ones on my platform that stand with me, that understand what I'm coming from, they get it. But you're right. Maybe I should not pay y'all no mind. I should let y'all just fucking reap what you sow. Maybe that's what it is. I don't see no other man saying men are not the enemy. I don't see no other man coming with that analogy that's trying to teach on that. What do you mean? But okay, thank you for the reality check, for real.
You know what? Just like I said, we're not.
Thank you for the.
Because at the end of the day, your market is women, and right now, these are the ones who are walking in circles like chickens with their heads cut off.
Y'all not even y'all own Jesus. Y'all not even y'all own Jesus. Jesus, Andre, you're not even your own Jesus, Andre. You're not even your own God. Y'all keep claiming that. Y'all keep claiming y'all are kings, but every time y'all get the chance to show up, y'all don't show up. Y'all fail. Y'all never show up when it means something. Y'all fucking crash and y'all cave in. Y'all cave in. Not all of y'all, but the majority of y'all. Majority of y'all do, and that's just a fact. The hood rat dudes, they don't mean nothing to society. Y'all don't contribute nothing to the society except selling drugs, sagging y'all pants. But the stand-up guys, that's the guys that that's the guys that deserve the spotlight. So bring a guy on the panel that actually represents the other 99%, because it's not here. It's just not. It's not in here. Self-talking. Okay, so be it. Self-talking. Stand in the gap. I don't see no other man saying men are not the enemy. All y'all doing is cheating on women, showing more women why they should be independent. Like, what do y'all mean?
Jane,
what do y'all mean? I speak facts. What do y'all mean? These women don't give a damn about y'all because of how y'all act.
That's a lie.
Not all of y'all, but a certain percentage of y'all. Y'all are the ones that need correction. No, the other men don't need correction. It's the Pookie and the Ray Rays that need a correction, that need correction. And y'all are failing. Y'all continue to put the image out there that every man is the same, that every woman is the same. We are not the fucking same. Y'all don't know what is real and what is fake. Y'all continue to go after the women. Man, please. Y'all continue to talk about the woman. Y'all continue to talk about the Cardi B's, but y'all picking the Cardi B's to be wives. Y'all picking the clap. Y'all picking the booty clappers. Y'all picking the breast showers. Y'all picking all these women to be wives. What are y'all talking about?
No.
Pookie and Ray Rays. No, that's who y'all are. Still.
Anyway. You keep bringing up, you're the only one screaming, men are not the enemy. Women love what they hear and not what they see. We don't need to keep hearing men ain't the enemy. Sweetheart, we know we not.
This is a new thing. What are you talking about? This is a new way. When have you ever heard? When have you ever heard men are not the enemy until you heard of me? Never. What do you mean?
I never said we never.
You never heard of men are not the enemy until you heard of me. What do you mean?
Men don't care about what we hear.
Yes, the hell y'all do. Y'all the ones talking about accountability with baby mamas. Y'all do care.
Men are.
It's all over the internet. Men are all over the internet talking about what they want and what they can't get. Women don't respect them. They tired of being the freaking man. Y'all delusional. Y'all delusional. Y'all are delusional.
You talk too much.
Delusional.
Hold up, Jane. Let him respond to you, Jane. Go ahead.
Kick me off. Kick me off again. And this time I'm not coming back. Kick me off, damn it.
I'm not kicking you off
this time. And I'm not coming back this time. I'm going to leave y'all to dwell in your own vomit. Sit in your own vomit. Sit in your own vomit. Y'all ain't making a difference. Y'all don't want to make a difference. Y'all don't want to make a difference. Y'all don't want to make a difference. Kick me off. Kick me off then. Kick me off. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm gonna leave y'all in the water without a raft. Y'all gonna dwell in the sea all by yourselves. Kick me off. Kick me off this time. I want you to kick me off. Kick me the fuck off this time. Kick me off. Woke, Neil, kick me off.
See, that's
your time, baby. Prove that you hate black women. Kick me the fuck off. Because this next time I'm not coming back. Y'all gonna have to fend for yourselves. Y'all don't want to get it. Y'all don't want to get it.
Don't want to kick you off, Jay.
Y'all don't want to get it. Matter of fact, I'm gone. Y'all have a good night. I'm not coming back.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
I understand. I said,
ooh, Lord.
Conversation. That is a woman that you will stand with men.
Wow,
as long as
that was crazy.
Goes your way.
Yep.
I'm standing here saying men are not the enemy. It's all when it goes your way, and you see how she got flustered. Until you what Andre? Nah, nigga, I'm not a flip-flopper, bro. When it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. If I don't have an input in whatever, I stand back, bro, because I don't talk what I don't know and what I don't believe in. No, I'm not a flip-flopper. But the thing about it is, bro, man, I'm not with all that. Men are not.
That was insane. That was insane. She just exposed herself.
And you know that's chaos, bro. And that is what we was. And that is what again.
That is crazy.
It's a lot of.
I didn't want to kick her off. I wanted her to get whatever she wanted off her chest, and
you make a lot of people uncomfortable because of the direct way you come. That's all it is. So that's why when you come on, it's amusing to watch again. Feathers get flustered sometimes because again, Neil is the same way. It's the delivery, and it's not the tone, it's the delivery. But at the end of the day, she is chaotic. That's chaotic. It's chaos, and you came back. You left the first time, say you not coming back. You came back, and I ain't say nothing. Neither time.
Yeah.
All we was trying to close this motherfucker. That's all.
She came at you hard, JP.
Huh?
I said she came at you hard, bro.
Yo, JP, you made me. I shed a tear, man. You made me proud. Man.
I am not the husband who you drove away from you.
Man, whatever, man.
I shed a tear. You made me proud.
He said I shed a tear.
bro. Right is wrong. I'm a neutral person, bro. I'm not one
Hey,
side.
JP, that ain't gonna work, bro. You got to pick a side, brother. You can't ride the fence for too long, man.
At the end of the day, man, I told you, two things can be right at once, bro.
What's right was right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. All I wanted her to do was get her perspective off, say whatever she wanted to say, and allow you to respond to it, and vice versa. But it was just like full on,
you know what that was,
combativeness.
Though? I'm gonna tell you what that was, bro. You gave her a bigger platform she's probably used to, and she chose that moment to vent out years of frustration.
How about we just not talk about her? She's not here. So let's get on with the conversation at hand. How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
The sisterhood unite.
This isn't no, because again, we all saw what just took place. So let's just get back on the topic at hand. She's no longer
the show is
here.
over.
So okay,
yeah, we're supposed to close it out.
What we're doing is it's called reflection time.
Well,
we're just reflecting.
But I don't really see why you all should reflect, because when we do it, we're being too emotional. See,
because we had to suffer through it,
we're being too emotional. But
I hear you.
When
we had
do
to suffer through that.
It should be accepted, right?
What should be?
I mean, my thing is, Des, and I respect what you're saying. I mean, we don't have to spend too much time dwelling on her, but damn, that was a little rude, don't you think?
You said she could express herself. And
yeah, but
have decorum.
Yeah, have a little decorum.
Listen, I can't speak for her, but I understand her frustration.
I don't.
I do. I mean, you wouldn't.
If you're walking around that angry, you shouldn't be walking around.
Oh I don't.
It's not so much. Listen, again, men. I've said it, and I really don't even want to sit here and say that I'm an advocate for men, because I feel like my head will get turned off. But there's not no fear in my heart. The problem I see is that a lot of the time when you are an ego-based individual, it is really hard to see the ideas or the understandings of other people. Now, I'm not saying that you have to agree. I'm not saying that at all. But the frustration is that I feel we see a lot of potential with our men, and we want our men so strongly to have the right mindset and to make the right decisions. It's not our fault men are out here turning gay. We're not making them do that. It's not our fault.
Wow.
It's not our fault.
When 70% of the children are born out of wedlock and women are raising, okay.
Listen.
All
These women, the women are marrying somebody.
No, they're not. That's the problem.
26% rate. They're not marrying anybody.
If the men are married, they're married to somebody. They're married to somebody.
We're talking about black people, though.
Yeah,
we're not talking about everybody.
Listen, at the end of the day, this wasn't about who's marrying who. My take on it, and I'm going to end this way. I feel that the reason why we got where we are is fear-based. It don't have nothing necessarily, I'm not even gonna say it don't necessarily have anything to do with Christianity, but again, Christianity is also a religion created by man. Every religion was created by man. So at the end of the day, the idealism came from someone. The Bible was created by multiple people. And to be honest, they were not black. They were not black.
You talking about Moses was black? He wrote the five. He wrote the first 5 books was written by Moses.
Were all the rest of the books written by Moses?
No.
Okay,
he had a bunch of people. But they were Middle Eastern. What color were they?
We can use that. He wrote the 5 books. Tell me what other black melanated man created the Bible?
Didn't like John and Luke and all of them, right?
Were they black?
Jesus was black. There was Jesus' right-hand man. Yeah, sure.
Jesus wasn't black.
So wait a second. Okay. Okay. So what's the crux?
As a matter of fact, if you go back and you look at history, black people taught Jesus.
Okay, listen, we can deify black people all we want, but my thing is, in the state of mind that black people are in today.
Listen, melanated people taught Jesus. What happened was
What happened was because Black people, melanated people, were everywhere. That's why there's a long period in history where you don't know the middle age, the middle part of Jesus's life. They only talk about from him being a baby.
There's
and
books
him
on it,
being
though.
an adult. They
There's
don't
books
talk,
on it. There's literature.
Neil, there might be literature, but how many people know the middle
That's their problem. The knowledge is there. The information is there. Just because they don't read it,
people don't know that.
That's them.
Because they're not when we talk Jesus, we don't hear about the middle part of his life. We hear when he was a baby, and we hear when he was grown.
Okay, listen, Des.
They don't talk about.
But Des, listen. Let's talk. I want to have this conversation, but I want to steer back on the topic though, because this is a good. I think this might be a good follow-up conversation. But back to what?
Let me just.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
What
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is, what they're not telling you, what maybe you don't know, is that when Jesus traveled in his like teen years. When Jesus traveled, he came across a lot of what we call melanated people. They taught him how to meditate. They taught him how to grow crop. They taught him certain intellectual things. And there came a period where he moved. He took all of that information in. And that's why when he went across the world and he spread the word across the world, people were amazed. They weren't amazed at the fact that he taught them. It was the fact that Jesus himself learned all he did from melanated people, which is how he was able to go around the world and give his teachings. That's why people looked at him as Jesus, looked at him as the savior, looked at him as this man who can do all of these miraculous things. It wasn't the information that Jesus got on his own. Jesus learned from melanated people. So let's be very, very clear about all of the history, not some of it. That is factual information. Jesus himself was taught by melanated people.
Okay. So what's the point?
What do you mean? What is my
Yeah,
point?
how does that correlate to today? Like we just did. That's what I'm saying. This whole.
Fast forward into Christianity. Christianity was not created by melanated people. Christianity was created by.
How does that correlate to Black people being in the state of mind the conditions that they are in
The
today?
European people adapted our resources and used our resources against us by way of manipulation. It's
What
not that
resources
we're
you talking
dumb
about?
or we're stupid.
I knew we was going. I knew she was going to go there.
As educated because our resources and things were taken from us.
Okay, you know what? How about this? Let's say hypothetically you're correct. The white man took it from us. Great. What do we do next?
What do you mean, Neil?
Let's just say you're right. Let's just say, even though I think what you're saying is absolute BS.
It's not.
and
I
nonsensical.
am right. That's
No.
factual information.
Let's. I will lend credence. How about this? For the sake of argument, I will lend credence to what you're saying. What is the next step going forward? How do we? How do?
Need to do their jobs. And
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. I knew it was gonna come right back to what Black men need to do. I knew it.
Did you not just hear me follow up and
I
say
knew it.
Black women need to do their jobs?
No, Black women. No, but no, because no.
That is a prime example of you're allowing your ego to lead.
No, because if you look at the numbers today, Black men. If you look at the numbers today, if you look at the statistics today, Black men have been improving astronomically.
Do their jobs. Black women need to do their
52% of Black men are single. Actually, 55% of Black men are single or childless.
Need to do
Yeah,
their
55.
jobs, and Black women need to do their jobs. I'm talking about my people. I'm not
Black
talking
men have been doing their jobs. They listen to other men. And these other men impart these stories, this knowledge. They transfer this information to each other. That's why they're not.
They
That's
wouldn't be out here having even married men. The Black married men.
Oh,
I
my
can't tell you
goodness.
how many Black married men that I know cheat on their wives. I can't tell you how many Black men. And what the problem is that you keep trying to.
You're creating a bigger.
Yes.
No,
You're creating a
why I'm
problem.
not creating that?
That is
Just
saying
saying
no.
that.
You keep trying to act as though it's only one type of black man that does wrong. It's not.
That's anecdotal.
It's not.
That's anecdotal.
Y'all have to stop associating everybody in one category. Oh, it's only one.
We're not.
Type
We're
of
giving
man
you
that do
statistics.
this. It's not.
Right.
Because men that are out here as entrepreneurs taking care of their financial business, that's one thing. But when morality steps
I
in,
make distinctions every time we have this discussion. I always make distinctions. That's why I said majority of black men are doing astronomically better than what their forefathers were doing as far as financially.
In the upper class.
Yes. 64% of black men in the middle class right now.
But what are you all doing good in? Why
Not having babies, but the vast majority of black men are not having babies out of life. How about that?
You know what you all are doing good in? You all are doing in educating yourself, making money for yourself, living for yourself. It's self first. And to some degree, that's fine. I get it. To some degree, that's fine. But again, when you're trying to create a community, it's
when
not just
black
about
men
you.
make money, we say we want to build a community so a family can. No. When black men make money, how about this? Des, when men,
How many women got a part of his
listen,
money?
Des, when men and
How much? Answer me that. Jay-Z is a billionaire. Ask him how much of that money has gone to the progression of black women.
It's not supposed to.
Oh my God, to black women? What are you talking about? Women getting grants, loans, affirmative action. They are getting entitlements out the woozang right now. Black girl magic.
I don't get this, man. I don't
listen.
Why does Jay-Z money need to go to somebody else?
Right, it's his money.
Listen, because this
that's his money.
When we create a community, if you want to kneel, if you even want to use God, when God gives us things, he doesn't give us things for the betterment of only ourselves. He gives us things so that we can take it and that we can give it out and spread it to the world.
Yeah, but not by fiat, not by government distribution.
Not by fiat. My thing
It's about individual. It's about it is of your own volition. If you decide to give, you should not be forced to give or do anything.
He keeps for himself.
Listen,
he
it's
keeps for himself. How many black men do you really see out here creating schools like LeBron James? Y'all are making all of this money and y'all are in these positions.
You're gonna use LeBron James.
How many black banks are you all creating? How many black airports are you all creating? How many RNA companies and corporations are you all making? You all get that money, you all make that money, and you all utilize it for the betterment of yourselves, not necessarily your community. Not
when a man makes money in general, listen. When a man makes money, when men
get money, he do give it back to any celebrity.
Thank you. Men are more generous than women. Men are more generous than women are.
We go to the strip club.
Look at this motherfucker.
They doing all that stuff. So, bro, niggas with money giving money back to the women.
And let me just say this. I want to say
everything I said.
No. No, again, like I said, let's use the example.
Wait.
Hey, did I not just say when men make money, they make it for the betterment of themselves? What is throwing money to a stripper who's not using that money in her community? What is it doing for our children? What is it doing for
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me I have to jump in. I can't take it. First things first.
What is that guy's name? The black guy.
Who?
We're supposed to be close.
Don't say Dr. Umar.
I know, JP.
Dr. Umar, the other one, he's dead now.
Who?
Dick Gregory?
No, he the guy with the glasses, the black guy, and
Walter Williams?
Kevin Samuels.
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Lee is Kevin Samuels.
Hey, that's a compliment.
I'll take it all day long. R.I.P. to the Godfather.
Yeah, buddy. But look, let me just say this. Let me just say this one thing, Lee. Let me just say this. All right. Go, let me just make one quick point. When men in general make money, what we say is we want to have a family to depend upon us. When women make money, you know what they say? We independent.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, Lee.
But you
Well-
all clearly aren't marrying the women. I thought you all
Wait.
aren't in these relationships. Y'all aren't even having
Passport
sex,
bros.
but you tell it. So what
Passport.
families are you all giving it to?
Des. Okay.
What
Statistically,
children are y'all giving it to?
Des. Statistically, black men are 30% of us are married versus the 26%, but yet you outnumber us by 2 million. So that's the question you should be asking your sisters.
First of all, this is why I don't like stats. You know why? Because the thing is, mathematically, if you have 2,000 women and 100 men, you're already outnumbered by 1,000.
But that's not the real number.
You all keep trying to make this statistical
No,
argument,
that's
but
not
it
the
really
number.
shouldn't even be no statistical argument from the beginning.
No. You're not understanding. Black men are not just married to all black women. 84% of black men are. 16% aren't. The point is that there's plenty of men who are single, first of all, that are black, that you guys just aren't marrying. 54% of us are single.
No, it's not that we're not marrying them. You all,
Yeah. The average woman thinks she is superior to the average man.
Exactly.
We've already went over this before, Des.
Okay.
Ask a woman what her standards are. Ask an average woman what her standards are. That's what I said. Feminism has absolutely infected the minds of the modern woman today.
You don't have to take our word for it. All you got to do is listen to any podcast there is out
we
there.
just
They're
want
going
to
to tell
agree
you.
to disagree, and I'm done.
Well, let me just close it out. Lee, did you want to make a point before you? I know you said your phone was about to.
Bro, it was it was very interesting.
Yeah, it was very, to say the
I will
least.
say this though, in closing, man. First of all, great show. I appreciate the invite back. I will be back again.
No doubt.
The other thing is that what I want to do is I'm gonna challenge us all, and I'm gonna put on my grown man hat right now. You know, I want to challenge everybody listening. You know, everybody who will listen to this podcast, for us to just to slow down our brains a little bit and just try to digest real information, and then try to come back with a stronger argument instead of just the yelling in the comments and all the other stuff.
Right.
Just come back with a stronger argument. Like the young lady who left, I know she said, "Don't call me that," but I'm respectful. She didn't have an argument, and when she exposed herself because she was talking about she only made $100 since 2007. And I'm sorry, if you only made $100 in the last, what was that, 15 years, 14 years, then you need another strategy. And clearly, over talking about nothing doesn't work, but if that's what she chooses to do, it's what she chooses to do. So skip all of that. Let's just strengthen our argument. Next time we meet, let's have a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, and then let's be leaders and a better guiding light to people listening to this, because this podcast is going to be shown throughout perpetuity of the universe. 10 years from now, this thing will still be on. I want to make sure that I give a great lasting impression of somebody who's actually doing it, someone who is married, someone who is raising a family, not just by myself. My wife has ultimate influence, and I give her all the respect in the world for the stuff that we're doing as far as building, because she could have built with somebody else, but she chose me, and that's what I'm internally grateful for that. But I just want to make sure we have a better understanding, because right now what I'm seeing is a lot of frustration and a lot of emotion that doesn't go anywhere. Now, we could have really took this podcast to the next level, but we kind of stayed around the niggerdom part.
Yep.
And the reason why that is, in my opinion, is because we just don't have a strong enough argument, because all this emotion is based on what our feelings are, and we don't understand that life is bigger than all of us. Life is bigger than our feelings. Life is bigger. That's why statistics mean something. I can't strengthen my argument if I don't know what's really going on out there. Everything I see is anecdotal. You get what I'm saying? Everything I see is anecdotal. I need more real life stuff so we can really have a real top-notch, not even argument, debate. So we can get a better understanding. The whole point of it is you debate for 2 hours, and at the end of the 2 hours, we get a better understanding and better appreciation for each other's time to also, for the next show, build off of that. To the point where...
Let me, before I forget, let me just say this. Marlene in a comment, she made a comment saying that the school systems, all this stuff is ran by elite billionaires and all of this stuff. That is an excuse, because while all of these men are out here making all of this money, you don't have to be a billionaire elite to create a school. You don't have to be a billionaire elite to create a program that's going to help our children. You don't have to be a billionaire to do all of these. They weren't billionaires when they created Black Wall Street. As a matter of fact, they didn't really have as many resources and things that we have now. So my argument to you all is that you all keep saying, oh, the elites are doing this and the elites are doing that. But we as Black people, if we were as strong as we so-called say we were, we would use our resources to create these things. We wouldn't be falling back on religion to get us there. We wouldn't be falling back on all these other things to get us where we need to go. So at the end of the day, my argument, which was this conversation, is that religion is why we're hindered. Religion, money is why we're hindered. Men and women not standing up, fear is why we're hindered. I don't need a stat to tell me anything. That's why we're hindered right now. Okay. Y'all, the Black men that's single and making all of this money, that's fine. But what are you contributing that money to that's going to help society? Y'all keep talking about, oh, all of these women this and these women that. The women ain't stopping y'all from creating these businesses, these corporations. These elites aren't stopping y'all. Matter of fact, Neil, in that video that you sent me, we sitting here, the white man ain't worried about us. Y'all want to sit and use the white man as an excuse, but the white man ain't worried about us.
Who did that?
What do you mean? It was in a video that Neil sent.
Which one? Yeah, I got which video? Talking about the first one?
No, it was the one that there was a Black guy. There was the Black guy that was on there talking, and he was describing pretty much the financial basis of why Black people are not thriving compared to why white people aren't. And what he was saying was that white
boy in it. That came
Chad O. Jackson. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch the video.
That. My whole thing is the excuse is religion. The excuse is this, and that. That should not be an excuse. At the end of the day, Black men, Black women need to stop having so much fear of what may happen, what may not happen, and do their jobs. Y'all keep talking, oh, these stats, oh, these men, this is 40% men. I don't care about none of that because, again, you can have a family and still create a business. As a matter of fact, that's the reason you should be creating a business. No man that is married to a woman should not have a joining business.
But who's not doing that? I'm not understanding.
Tell me the percentage of Black men and women that are married that are building businesses and have businesses together. I'm not talking about, oh, we just married.
All right. You do.
Tell me how many.
Well, hold on. That's the reason why that shouldn't matter. If everybody can't have a business,
why
that's
not?
The first thing.
Why not?
Okay, so if everybody has the business, then who's buying stuff?
What do you mean? Who's buying? Lee. I'm not saying every single person should have a business. What I'm saying is, and even if everybody had a business, we would buy from each other. You know why?
Okay,
because
well, hold
we wouldn't
on.
all have the same business.
There's a such thing as free enterprise. Okay, people can choose what they want to do. Not everybody can. Not everybody built for business.
But and exactly why I'm saying, if you have 1,000 people with 1,000 different ideas, and they all.
I just think throwing more money. I think throwing money at the issue is not going to fix it. It's internal. That's my thing. Like I said, it all comes back down to personal responsibility. It all comes back down to personal responsibility.
As you all should know, college was created to create jobs, not go to them. So at the end of the day, you have colleges all over the world. Colleges were created. Colleges were meant for people to create jobs. College wasn't meant when it was initially started. College was not meant to go to school to work for somebody. It was to go to school to get the intellect and the resources to create a job. Is what it was meant for. Then
trade.
That transit. What?
I mean, I thought
that's trade school.
That's trade school.
It's not.
College is more
college
exposed to you.
I'm done. Y'all just choose to.
Well, being honest, Des. I mean, what do you mean? All right, listen. Okay, listen. Let me.
That's not being honest.
All right.
Being honest. At the end, I got every excuse, and y'all like to blame, but y'all don't never come up with a solution for nothing.
We've been offering quite a few solutions. We've been offering quite a few solutions, but
like what? Take away government assistance.
Well, first and foremost, I said it starts at personal responsibility. Be accountable for the decisions you made.
And then what? I take personal responsibility. Then what? After I do that, then what's next?
Make better choices.
Okay, what's next?
What do you mean? What's next? Encourage your fellow man to make better choices. Your fellow sister to make better choices, and then from there.
Hey, but that's not what you were sitting here preaching.
And what I mean by better,
man, because if that's the case, again, then you're only agreeing with what I said. When I said when we make money, we don't make money for the betterment of the people. We make money and we keep it. That's why we could literally end world hunger in a day.
What?
You know, we could end world hunger in a day. You know why we can't end world hunger? Because we're selfish.
Because y'all vegans.
Because we're selfish. Lee, have you ever seen a vegan commit a crime or kill someone?
Sure.
When?
I mean, when?
What,
I don't
what
know.
vegan? How many vegans do you know sit and commit crimes?
I don't know nobody.
I don't know, but I'm sure there's some stats. So, I mean, what we
you, because when it comes to better choices, when you're a vegan, you're taking in certain nutrients that other foods that aren't vegan related take away from. And when
so you telling me your
nutrients,
diet is the reason why you commit crimes?
It is a part of it. Because it all works.
You have got to be kidding me, Des. This is really getting way out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Now you blaming it on our diet. So wait a second. So when racism isn't adequate enough, if the excuse of racism isn't sufficient enough, now we move on to diet.
Why do you think that people are not promoting?
Send the asteroid.
Why do you think people are not promoting good health? Why do you think people are promoting eating bacon, going to McDonald's? All of these people.
Okay, but Des, you don't need an external force to tell you. You don't need something external. You don't
eat a whole plate of bacon. You're not going to sit here and tell me you're going to get healthy out of eating a whole plate of bacon.
Yes, you are in control of every morsel that you put in your mouth. You are in control of that.
Yes, you are.
In control of that.
And if you're not ingesting the right foods, guess what? You get sick.
That knowledge is out there for anyone to take advantage of. We're in an informational, technological age. Anybody can access that information if they want to learn about that. But that is an active choice.
Eating healthy promotes growth. It doesn't decrease growth. Eating
I swear, the goalpost is so. Listen, the goalpost is so far beyond comprehension right now. No, the whole theme of discussion is how do we get here and what happened, and now we have somehow. Never mind. All right, let's. I can't even. I honest to God, can't even.
I can't believe.
I just don't. I don't see. Listen, I'm not invalidating what you're saying as false or nothing like that. I think it's advantageous for people to eat better and and partake in more healthier food items. But what I'm saying is that's not going to change that's not going to shift the mindset of our culture right now. That's not going to do it.
Yes, it will.
No, it's not.
Yes,
so
it
he's
will.
saying
You
that
know
people
why?
in the hood should eat
Because
more
if
salad.
you go outside right now and you start promoting drinking water, I guarantee you, if Sexy Red went outside right now and started promoting drinking water, I guarantee you'll see more people buying water than you would see them buying cognac.
Oh my
so then hold on. So then that's what you should do. Go protest against Sexy Red to promote more water.
I do.
I better see that post tomorrow. Man.
For my men
for next
See
time
that
BLM
post.
got a march, make sure they got.
Listen, so while you're telling me to sit here and promote women, why don't you go and promote men? How about
promote
that?
men.
Go and promote, just like we're supposed to go and
I'm
talk
not
to
gonna
our
promote
women. Why
anyone.
don't you go and talk to your men?
I do talk to them. You know the guys I talk to. Majority of them married. We all making whatever.
And that's not a lot.
Hold on.
And according to you,
that's exactly. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. You said Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna tell you the best advice Kevin Samuels ever said that I got by listening to him every day when he was around. And I still listen.
Rest
to
in peace to the Godfather.
Right. You know what he said? He said, you know what? If you want to help the black race, you know what he said? The best thing you can do is start your own black family.
There you go.
He said
there
that's the best thing you could do.
You
Marry
got all
a black
these,
woman, have black babies that are responsible.
There you go. Thank you.
To society. If
Thank you.
everyone does that, that answers majority of our problems.
But that's so that's
all you got to do.
That's the hardest thing to do. They don't want to start there because they think that's just the hardest thing to do.
Because when you raise in these black families, the first thing that comes with it is accountability.
You want to talk about raising a black family, but you all can't even take in your child.
What?
Wrong. She just had. This is my thing. See,
No, that is no crossover to what we're saying.
Keep sitting here talking about black family this, black family that. Some of the best black families make mistakes. Some of the best black families have children that have children out of wedlock. There are some black families that are very much black families, but they have and make mistakes just like people outside of black families. Y'all keep doing all of this talking about this and that, when at the end of the day, most black men aren't even marrying black women.
Listen, the problem is women need to get back in the kitchen. They need to get back in the kitchen because this is crazy. Y'all need to go right back in the kitchen because this ain't happening. This is just women need to go back in the kitchen. That because I'm telling you right now, when they are just on this stream of consciousness saying all this nonsensical crap, other people buy it. Other women buy it. Listen, I'm telling you, this is all just BS, terrible advice. It's destructive. It's not helpful.
Terrible advice, but you'll sit here and sit and talk highly about Jay-Z and all of the stuff that he did.
I didn't say a damn thing about Jay-Z.
There was somebody in the comments, but what I'm saying is, you say make better choices. As a black woman, I'm going to promote good health. Good health helps our children. It helps us.
That's great. That's great.
That's a choice.
But does that take more precedent than having a black family?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes.
Right.
You know why it does? Because you can have black families
That's
all
the
day.
nail in the coffin right there.
Black family if they're not healthy. You got a lot of men right now who are in marriages with women they don't even like and won't leave for the mere fact that they don't want their resources and their assets taken from them. So y'all miss me with that. Y'all sitting here acting like all of these black families are just living great and doing this, and that's not even really the case, because there are a lot of black men that I know that are married who are stepping out on their wives. They're not
That's who you
helping
know.
their family.
That's who you know.
Then hold on, that's an indictment on you then, sis. Because who do you know doing that?
I know a lot of black men that do that.
And
I know a lot
hold on. I don't know any. Would you like to know why I don't know any?
Neil, I mean, Lee, listen, I'm not saying this to be funny.
My point is
I'm not
this.
saying this to be funny.
You are a
I am
reflection of the
trying
people you
attention
hang out
all
with
the
and
time.
talk to.
I have several conversations. I work in the line of
You need to cut those degenerates
Then you
off.
should have
If
cut
that's
them
the
off a long
case.
time ago.
Listen, but you all, these are the married men that you
That
all
you
are talking
see
about.
in your
No, I'm
that you
not.
see in your own limited scope of reality. That's what
It's
you
not
see.
a limited scope. It's the reality. I'm
Second,
not making
so
up
what
fake
you
people.
so what you see through your two eyes is representative of society at large.
Neil, so if I marry my husband and he's out
So you're just not
having
gonna
an
answer that
affair,
question.
and he's out having an affair, and we're not building a bond to create a business, what good is my marriage or
You know
my
you just
family?
deflected, right? I asked
That's
you
not
through
a
whatever you
deflection.
see.
That's the reality. Y'all keep trying to come up with all these what ifs. No, the
You
reality
just
is
did that.
the reality is there are a lot of men who are married and they're cheating on their wives. They're not building with their wives.
So who
you
they
know-
They're not
cheating with?
taking
So
care
who
of
they
their
cheat? So who they
family.
cheating with?
Yeah,
But to say they got a ring and that they're
yeah,
married,
hey, Daz,
that's
who are they cheating with? Are they cheating with a woman?
some of them are cheating with women, and some of them are cheating with men.
How about this? Well, I know you don't like stats, but according to the stats, women there's only a 4% differentiation between men and women cheating. The numbers are
Exactly.
about the same. I mean, women are cheating at exorbitant rates, just like men. So if you want to talk about that, we don't need to go down that road. But listen,
Every time I say something about the men, you want to transfer to the women.
No,
We're
we're
not
giving you
talking about the
stats.
women. We're talking about the men right now.
you're talking about your feelings. I'm giving you.
I'm not talking about my feelings have nothing to do with 3, 4,
If
5,
it's
6, 7, 8
anecdotal,
married
if
men
it's
trying to holler at
anecdotal,
me
if it's
instead of building with his wife,
listen, if it's
instead of building a corporation or a company with his wife.
Daz,
What
if
do
it's
that got to do with
anecdotal, Daz, it's not representative of society at large.
Keep making excuses for the married men. Keep making excuses for the men who aren't married.
Did you hear me say, "Hey, go out and cheat on your wife"? I didn't say anything like that. I'm not endorsing that at all.
I didn't say you were, but it sounds like it because I'm sitting here telling you
What?
what these married men that you're so-called high praising are doing. Y'all keep sitting here trying to act like, oh, all of these black
All
men
right, Des,
that
how
aren't
many?
married and single
All right,
are
so give me a
perfect.
number.
No,
How
they're
many of them
not.
married that's cheating on their wives? How many?
What?
Give me a number. Give me a number.
I can't personally tell you.
There
I'm
you
telling
go.
you from experience.
But it's
I'm
happening.
telling you from
20,
experience.
30, 40,
So
how many?
prevalent.
You're telling me you never knew. You're telling me you don't know one man who cheated on his wife. Is what you're telling me.
No, it's not what I'm saying.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm asking you.
associate with
That's what you
those
just
dudes.
said.
Yeah, you're not supposed to associate
I
with those
don't
type of people,
associate
Daz.
with them. I don't even know them.
If you know somebody doing that, Daz, you should have been cut them off.
Bro, I didn't say I entertained them. What I said was there are married men who step
That
out
you
on
know.
their wives.
That you know.
That
You
you
said that you
know.
know.
I know, yes, because I am a woman and I've
You should
experienced
cease. You should cease
the
from
fact
knowing
is,
them.
you all are men and you all are sitting here trying to act as though y'all don't know married men that cheat on
But
their
that,
wives.
but Daz, that does not. But
Video
Daz, that
that went viral. There was a video that went viral of that boy. It was a black boy who was sitting in a car and he was eating chicken. And he was talking about how his friend got married in Vegas.
Talking about Derek Jackson?
No, it wasn't Derek Jackson. This wasn't a celebrity. There was a
the
black
king
boy.
of simps.
There was a black boy. He was sitting in the car. He had just gotten married. His friend had just gotten married. His friend invited him to Vegas to do some not within your marriage shit to do. His friend said, my man done introduced me to this woman,
Right.
got me calling her sis,
I'm sure it happened.
I done
But
went
that's
to this
one
man's
scenario.
wedding. I done
Oh,
paid
come on,
all
man.
of this money to go to this
All right.
man's wedding, and you're sitting here trying to cheat on your wife. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna find the video for you, Neil, and I'm
I
gonna
saw it. I saw the video.
All right. Well, listen. Maybe
so stop sitting here trying to act like y'all
we're
don't know
not
this
denying the reality of what you're saying that it happens. Yes, we're saying it happens, but that does not overall besmirch or taint the marriages. That does not taint the overall goal of marriage.
Why doesn't it?
Why doesn't
What is
it?
the point? Listen, what is the purpose of marriage if you're not going to utilize it for what it's for?
Duty, commitment, and raising of children. and building a community.
You all aren't doing that if you all are out cheating and not creating businesses.
Oh God.
If you're out spending your time cheating and not and bringing infidelity to the relationship, then you're not paying attention to your child. You're not paying attention to your wife. Your wife is not paying attention to the husband.
Bro, my phone's on 5%, boss.
I know. Well, yeah, I'm about to shut it. We're gonna. Listen, Daz, we love you. We love you. We love you. We love that you had. At least you listen. You stayed in the kitchen. You stayed in the kitchen. You stuck around. I wish your homegirl would have stood around a little bit longer, but whatever.
This is sad.
All right, well, listen. So I'm gonna close it out, guys. Listen, everybody that's in the chat, I thank you all for staying in and hanging in with us for this long. I appreciate you and every lap, man. Y'all, the chat has been engaging tonight. Y'all have been,
man.
They've been on it. Y'all have been on it. I appreciate it.
It's funny. It's funny. Yo, he's hilarious, man.
Abe is. Yeah, I don't think.
I see you,
Daz
boss man. I see you.
Take too kindly of Abe. But I appreciate every last one of y'all for sticking in with us. I really appreciate it. Obviously we didn't reach too much agreement. There was a little bit of crossover, a few things that we had some consensus on. JP made some good points. Lee made some great points. Daz, you made some good points too as well. Jane did. Jane, if you're hearing this, Jane, you are more than welcome to
all day. That's what y'all do.
Wait a second, I'm giving you plaudits. I'm praying. All right, see
all day. And this is the shit that we be talking about.
Listen, I'm simping for you right now. You don't even want to listen.
No, because y'all like.
Don't you want me to simp?
Y'all just sit here playing all day.
So the simping don't even work. Okay, all right. So screw it then. Anyways, Jane, if you're listening to this, I really appreciate you coming on. You're more than welcome to come back on. I did not want to kick you off. However, I think that was kind of maybe your exit plan. I don't know. Maybe that was premeditated, whatever the case may be, but out into the world, I'm just putting it. You are more than welcome to come back on. Just try to exercise a little bit of decorum next time, because everyone's entitled an opportunity to speak and respond and interject. Anyway, but guys, I appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all all subscribe. Hey, make sure you hit the subscription button, the subscribe button. And Kathy, I appreciate you. Who else we got in here? Ayana, thank you. I'm gonna have Ayana on the next one, y'all. Y'all gonna she cold too. Miss Mel, everybody else, Marine, everybody. If anybody I missed, I'm sorry. DP, shout out to you. I appreciate. Andre, I think he left, but appreciate you, brother. Any of y'all know Andre?
Nope.
I don't know neither. But man, he was coming hard too.
Coming hard.
I don't know.
Man, the channel's growing, man. Just keep it up,
the
man.
Chat is growing, man. I appreciate it. But hey, look, this wouldn't be possible with y'all panelists. I know we go at each other's throat. Des, we not trying to gang up on you.
I don't care.
Okay, see. All right. Anyway.
Dude,
I like to play, so I'm gonna be super emotional right now. I don't
It's
care.
okay. Well, it's your nature. It's all good. It's your nature. It's fine.
Yeah.
But listen, we still listen. I'm gonna send JP over there. He gonna give you a massage.
Not take shit seriously.
No.
It's not funny, is it?
So I appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all are subscribed.
I'm not getting married.
No, we're gonna get your ass married. I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting you married. We're gonna get you married.
I don't have time.
All right, guys. We're gonna close it out. Listen, we're gonna try to be back here next Tuesday, guys. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's gonna be the time for now. I don't know, Mike. Mike shipped it to Friday, but who knows? Depending on what we come up with. But guys, these are the discussions that we have. Sometimes it gets a little crazy, but this is a free speech zone. So ain't no censorship over here until YouTube kick me off. So I appreciate y'all. We're gonna lock it down. Holla back, deuce.